doing, everybody? Good news, everybody. It's Rashbaum Day 2023, Charlie Adelson's trial. We're going to be walking through the Wendi Adelson testimony. I think we might only be able to get through direct tonight because it's 2 hours. And I think Rashbaum's next after that with another hour. So, I mean, that would be a 6-hour stream. I don't know that anybody really wants that, especially at this hour, this late hour. Join us Friday night. Welcome everybody. So what's all this in chat? Let's see what Frank thinks. Who's this Frank guy? What's his issue? What does he want? What are we talking about here? Daphne, did you make up the metrics? I have no idea what you mean. What am I supposed to think? I don't know. Let's move forward. We'll be going for a little bit of a law and crime episode today, I think. That's going to be an excellent episode. How it go?
Ms. Adelson.
I'm originally from Coral Springs, Florida.
And where do you live now?
I currently live...
It felt like a long time between Katherine Magbanua's trial and Charlie Adelson's trial, but it was only a year and a half. 18 months-ish. Less. About 18 months. It just felt like... It felt like 5 years. I don't know why.
I live in Miami.
How are you employed?
Now kind of part-time.
Medical legal partnership. Wendy, come on. Brandeis, remember Cambridge?
Do asylum work and fundraise.
I do asylum work? They keep me in an asylum? I like that idea.
For nonprofit organizations.
Are you an attorney?
By training, yes.
Okay. How long have you been a member?
Yeah, just by training. I actually wash cars now.
The Florida bar.
Since I graduated and took the bar in 2006.
And are you here today pursuant to a subpoena?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And that subpoena confers use and derivative use immunity to you, so nothing you say could be used against you in the future.
That is correct.
Okay. That doesn't mean you have full immunity from prosecution, but nothing you say here and nothing derived from it could be used in that prosecution. Is that your understanding?
That is my understanding.
I assert.
Did you know Daniel Markel?
Yes.
How did you know him?
We were married.
When did you meet
My dear late husband.
Mr. Markel?
We met in the fall of my...
I have been Donna Adelson's husband for over 50 years.
Whoa.
And I could not help but scream in my mind.
Oh, my.
Donna has always been a one-sided wife. Who told outright lies. You're sending an innocent woman to prison. Thank you, Judge and jury, for allowing me to speak.
Hey, thanks so much. On the Mountain. That is a great 5 cups of coffee on buymeacoffee.com/TrueCrimeMetrics. On the Mountain says, feeling Thanksgiving spirit and grateful for your entertaining podcasts. Is that what they are? Is this a podcast? Fantastic. I've never known what that meant. You know, is a podcast, because when people first started saying that, I used to think that it was something that you played on an iPod. Remember when people had those? You used to have a phone and something else. And a couple of other things. On a big old paper map. Oh, I like those maps. You know, they never fold down right, do they? What else did we have? What else did we have? We had a phone. We had an iPod. Well, you know, not me. Who could afford it? I had a something from Creative. But I had a little USB. What else did we have? What else did we have? What else did we have? Thermos. Before smartphones, everybody carried a thermos. And Swiss Army. Got to have a Swiss Army. Why has nobody put in... No, why has nobody, all the major companies, Apple, Samsung, those other ones, not one person from their creative development team has put a knife on a phone or a gun? Come on, America. Especially you, Acapella. Acapella probably installs guns into all of his portable devices.
Law school, so fall of 2004.
And where did you meet?
We met in Washington, D.C. He was working there.
Online. On some crummy app.
And I was looking into...
That my mother browsed for me. How about this one?
a summer job in Washington.
And when did you get married?
In February of 2006.
A summer job in Washington, yes. The minute I got back from Cambridge, I thought, where am I going to work? And then I thought, yes, I'll take a job with the President of the United States of America.
And when did you live here in Tallahassee?
We lived in Tallahassee my third year of law school, so from August of 2005 until I think around maybe May or June of 2006. And then we moved to Miami for a year because Dan...
Hey, Wendi, you're having a little trouble navigating around your mind, okay? Did a tree fall down in your mind? What is it, Wendi? I mean, this is why we're really here today. If anybody doesn't know, we are trying to look at Wendi Adelson's bad memory and all of these little things she does when she's pretending to have a memory. Eyes up and to the right, up and to the right. Yeah, several things. I think this is definitely, we'll have to call it when we get to 2025, but of all the years that we've seen so far of Wendi Adelson on the stand, this is the version of her that I most want to run over in my car, okay? At speed, you know. It's just something about her head and her arms and her hair, just all of it.
And he was interested in working at the University of Miami. Mm-hmm. He did not get the job at University of Miami, and
you see, the last I remember this question from the first one, 2019. The question from the first one was no, her answer was, well, he was interested in working at the University of Miami, and it did not work out. You know, which was vague, which could mean, you know, in the context that he didn't get the job, but, you know, it could have been something else. It could have not worked out because of a family member was ill up in Toronto and they had to travel. You know, it could have been several things. And it seemed like she was purposefully avoiding any chance of a perjury allegation at a later stage. But here she's going in with a hard declaration of he did not get that job. And you can tell it's hard because there's a tiny, teeny little space in between each of the words. Did you catch that? Look at this. Look at this. Psycho.
August of 2005 until I think around maybe May or June of 2006. And then we moved to Miami for a year because Danny was interested in working at the University of Miami. Mm-hmm. He did not get the job at University of Miami, and so we moved back here in 2007 and lived here until 2014.
And where were the two of you?
He did not get the job. A cappella, is there some kind of echo that you are experiencing? What does that mean? On my microphone? We'll just have to wait for our technician to arrive. I have pressed the emergency alarm.
You employed during the time you lived here in Tallahassee?
I was employed at the FSU Center for Human Rights, and Danny was employed at FSU Law School.
Were you both professors at FSU College of Law?
Yes.
And were you living on Trescott Drive at that time?
When we were married, we lived, I think we rented a house before that, but at some point, maybe in 2008, we moved to Trescott Drive.
And is that the home that he was still living in at the time that he was killed?
That is correct.
Okay, and you were no longer living there, is that correct?
I was no longer living there.
All right, at the time he was killed, you two had children together, yes?
Yes.
And how many children did you have?
We have 2 children.
And what are their ages now?
They are 13 and 14.
What about at the time of their dad's death?
At the time of their dad's death, they were 4 and 3.
When did you separate from Professor Markel?
In the fall of 2012.
Whose decision was it to separate?
It was my decision.
And was part of the reason for the separation the two of you having differing views on how to raise your kids as far as within the Jewish faith?
I mean, it was a small part, but it was part of it.
Okay, that seemed to be something that came up a lot in your communication, so that's why I ask about it. What was the difference of opinion on that?
I think it might be because it is very loud on the video. Is that correct? Is that correct? Let's turn that right down. We're going minimum boost. How about that?
I mean, when we first met and started dating, Danny wasn't as observant or as religious as he became over time. And so the difference in our perspective on raising kids was about dietary choices and attendance at synagogue, things like that.
So in general, he wanted
attendance at synagogue? For what? Is there any money involved? I was thinking we'd go out for bacon towers. The old Adelson special, bacon towers. Yeah, no, thank you, Chancey. I think we're going to need a new coffee soundbite because it's just too damn long, right? It's too damn long. Katie was so brief, was perfect. But some people, not mention any names, were sick of it and voted it out. Get out. But yeah, we'll come up with something.
To raise the children more strictly in terms of the faith than you.
That is correct.
Did you move?
Yeah, he did, and that was a concern because I am not going to be a single mother running around Miami with two kids with those little hat things on their heads and their shirts tucked in. That is not happening. Kosher, forget it. No. Bacon towers.
Out of the marital home while Mr. Markel was away on a business trip?
I did, yes.
All right. And did he know that you were moving out when he left for the business trip?
No, he did not.
Where did you go when you left the marital home?
I rented a home in Tallahassee.
Where was that? Do you remember the...
It was available the same day. Just left, packed a weekend bag. She loves the weekend bag, right? What does that mean? Just a smaller piece of luggage, I suppose, right? Yeah, no. Just walked straight into a house, rented it, put down a deposit, and moved right in. Yeah. You know, she could have at least gone to one of those dodgy motels with the hookers and the crack. You know, that's what most people do, isn't it? When they're running from an abusive husband.
Address?
With all the dining chairs. There probably wasn't enough room in that motel for all of those dining chairs, right?
Aqua Ridge Way?
3303.
Oh, I don't know. Aqua something. No, it's definitely Aqua, or was it Ridge Aqua? Ridge Aqua Road. Oh. If I'm ever in charge of naming the streets in a neighborhood, they're all being called Aqua Ridge Way. And then, or just variations. We'll have 3 roads. Ridge Aqua Road.
Sound right?
That's right.
Okay. And what was the custody arrangement once you moved out of the marital home?
I mean, in the beginning, until we had a formal custody arrangement.
In the beginning, no arrangement. I took charge. He was allowed to see them on my terms.
And we were just finding ways to share custody. I remember.
Yeah, finding ways. We were definitely finding ways. He'd call up and he'd beg, please let me see the boys. And I'd be like, it's a maybe from me. You signed those papers?
Remember that first weekend his parents came, so I made sure he had the children all weekend while his parents were visiting from Canada. But eventually we had a 50-50 shared custody arrangement.
All right, and do you remember exactly what that looked like? Was it
straight down the middle. Fair's fair. Actually, I think it was 51-49, for tax reasons or something. Or, no, what was it? We heard from one of those bad lawyers in Donna Adelson's case in chief that it was so that it would marginally identify one of the parents as the primary residence for the boys. I mean, this is why I don't really believe in contracts for anything. Least of all, a marriage contract.
week on, week off, or something more complicated?
It was something more complicated. In the summertime, it was week on, week off. During the weeks, it was I think.
It was something more complicated. What we did when we were deciding who would have the boys when is that me and Professor Markel, we would throw down a twister mat. And we would play because we were getting on so well, copacetic, yeah? No, we would play, he would spin the dial, and I would, right hand green. And, whoever won would get to pick their days. And we'd take turns until the whole month was filled. And that worked out for us.
What they called like a 2-2 split, with Wednesday night being an overnight.
2-2 split. Isn't that the winning twister move? I think I remember that from way back in the early 90s. The 2-2 split. Like if you could pull one of those off, you were somebody in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
And then the weekends being every other weekend.
All right, but roughly 50-50.
50-50, but that was the split.
Okay. And I want to show you what's been introduced into evidence. State's Exhibit 56.
Oh, I like this. Look at this. Speaking of roads, in America, we do a thing. That's your stripper name is your middle name combined with the street road you grew up on. Mine was Rosewood. Yeah, could have been worse. What would mine be? Did I grow up on a street? Can I do the one I live on now? What is that? So my stripper name would be Albuquerque Ross. Or John. I have two. I'm so revealing.
I know you've had a chance to take a look at this before, but if you'll just kind of thumb through it and tell me if you recognize it.
Sure.
And Wendy's would be Jill Trescott, or Trescott Jill, which just sounds like a normal, boring name. Yeah. Rose Wood. I do like that, actually. Charlie's would be Whale J. What's your stripper name? They call me the Whale. J. Whale J. In Florida, we have numbers, not names. Well, not everywhere. you know. I can think of 30 addresses in Florida right now that are street names. What are you hoping here for, Charles? What are you hoping for here, Charles? What does he look like? He looks like he's put $1 into the button and nothing happens. He's going to start rocking it back and forth in a moment. Judge Everett's got the move. Every time Judge Everett passes the vending machine, all he has to do is a little sort of butt tap. A little just side swipe with the butt tap, and he gets a Mountain Dew right out of there instantly. Every time. No dollar slot, no fucking around with those buttons. Butt tap, side swipe.
Do you recognize the exhibit?
I do.
Is it a fair and accurate copy of your divorce file?
It looks like it, yes.
All right. And is it fair to say this was a contentious litigation process that you had with your ex?
It was.
I don't think any divorces are pleasant. I found getting divorced to be... Tell us about the tennis racket, Wendy. Yeah. Was it signed by Venus Williams or what? What was, or was it just an average, broken, what do you call the stuff around the handle where you hold it? What do you call that stuff, that tape stuff? I don't know. Was that all peeling off and moldy?
And I want to ask you about a specific filing in there. It's begins on page 43, and it's in reference to a filing on January 14th of 2013 where you were looking to relocate with the minor children. Do you recall that particular filing?
I recall the filing. You said 43. I'm not sure I'm... Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. On the bottom, there should be page numbers for you.
Yes. Yes, I recognize it.
Okay, and that's the filing in reference to your motion for relocation?
Yes.
Okay, and did you file this motion with the intent to not be successful?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
It's been suggested that you never thought that was going to be successful. Did you?
I thought there was a small chance that it would be successful, but not very likely, no.
Okay. And weren't you thinking, well, maybe Danny would be happy working somewhere else because he's mentioned applying elsewhere, so maybe he'll allow the relocation? Were you thinking that?
Well, he and I talked about the relocation. So when we talked about it, he thought, well, if I can live nearby in Miami, that might work, and then I could commute to FSU. I didn't mean for him to leave FSU, but he wanted to leave FSU at some point, so that was just a matter of time.
So you thought it might be successful?
Sure, I mean, I thought it was possible, but not likely.
All right, and page 46 of that document, paragraph E references the job offer. The wife also desires to relocate to South Florida in order to provide a better quality of life for the children by increasing their access to close family and providing more stability and consistency. Who is the close family?
Yeah, not to mention the sushi restaurants. They're both getting a jet ski each.
South Florida.
The close family would have been my mom and my dad and my brother.
And which brother is that?
My brother that's here today.
Charlie Adelson?
That's correct.
Okay. What's your
My brother that's here today. Yeah, the guest of honor. There he is, front and center. The defendant. The one over there that looks like he needs a Mountain Dew.
mom's name?
My mom's name is Donna.
Donna Adelson?
Yes, that's her name.
What about your dad?
My dad's name is Harvey.
And where did Donna and Harvey live back in the time frame between 2012 and 2016?
They lived at the home I grew up in Coral Springs.
And how far do they live away from you currently as we sit here today?
Currently, depends on Miami traffic, but anywhere between...
Yeah, it depends on Miami traffic, which is proof that I am an average, single, simple mother. Did you see my minivan? My minivan is parked right outside.
In 15 minutes and an hour.
Right. And what kind of a relationship do you have with your parents?
Between 15 minutes and an hour. It's quite a span, isn't it? What is that? If you're driving at 1 in the morning, it's about 15 minutes because you can go 90. But if it's at 5:30 in the afternoon, a lot of honking.
As we sit here today.
I have a good relationship with my parents.
And has that always
Is that what we're calling it? Yeah, they pay for all my kids' shit, and I haven't had to pay for a babysitter since their father had his head blown off. So that's way more than $4,800 a month in my pocket. So yeah, no, it is a pretty good profitable, yeah. Handy. It comes in handy.
been the case?
I would say so.
Can you describe the relationship that your mom has with your boys?
I think it's very loving. I think she's a very dedicated grandmother.
She spends a lot of time with...
I'll say it. Yeah, dedicated. She stepped up. She raised them single-handedly.
Doesn't she?
She does, yeah.
And when they were little and you first moved there after Danny's death, how much time was she spending with them?
When I moved there after Danny's death in 2014...
How much time was your mom spending with the boys?
I mean, we were all living together at that point. So, we were spending every day together.
How were your parents employed? Are they retired?
Well, we were in the same house. I was in my room on my own most of the time, on my dating app. Had a lot of catching up to do on the app.
Now?
They're retired now.
What are they retired from?
My dad was a dentist, and my mom used to coordinate, kind of be like an office administrator at his practice.
And did she write the checks at the practice? Paychecks?
Yes. Mm-hmm. She handled all the bookkeeping.
What was the name of the practice?
The name changed over the years, but probably the name when they retired was the Adelson Institute.
And were you...
Which was the original AI. In fact, we need to speak to those supercomputer people and have them write us a check for stealing riding on the coattails of our initialism, of our business, AI.
Were your parents wealthy at the time that your husband was murdered?
I mean, my parents worked their whole lives.
Oh yeah, they worked their whole life. My dad did purchase a fountain pen at auction that originally belonged to Noel Coward for $200,000. So I don't know how we would define wealthy. You know, we did have a lot of art, you know, original art collection, but we keep all of that in Sotheby's in our private locker. So, you know, is it ours? Does it belong? You know, it's under our name, but it's an investment. So, wealth. What is wealth?
Support us, right? Mm-hmm. So I think the business did well for a period of time.
About $2 million in profit each year between 2013 and 2016, sound right?
They never talked to me about money, so I have no idea how much the business made at any given point.
Did you discuss your marital problems with your mom at all?
I did, yeah.
Okay. What about the resulting legal issues? Was your mom read in on those things?
I mean, I definitely updated her about the results of the relocation when that petition got denied, but
it's a no-go. We're going to have to go to Plan B. Yeah, I updated her for sure. No, I did. Yeah, I said, hi, Mom. It didn't work. We're going to have to do that other thing.
Not kind of the ins and outs of every part of our divorce.
What about your dad? Was he invested in your divorce status?
I think the same as my mom, just worried about me and worried about the boys.
Mm-hmm. What about your brother? Did he take an interest in the ins and outs of your divorce?
No, not really.
Did he need to protect you from Dan Markel?
No, I mean, I don't.
No, they got along. In fact, Miss Cappleman, Charlie, my brother Charlie, was actually, before his arrest, was looking in to purchase a new boat, which he was going to name the Dan Markel.
I think I need protection.
Were you physically in danger from Dan Markel?
No, I wasn't in danger.
Did the litigation...
Wendy, what do you mean you weren't in danger? You see, this is the thing with women that have been in abusive relationships with crazy. They always come out and minimize, don't they? I wasn't in danger. No, it was my fault. Oh, I did that on the cabinet. No, I banged it. Yeah, no, walked right into it. Don't you remember, Wendy? He was terrorizing you. He was terrorizing you so much that you had to call him Fuzzy Wuggy. What was it? Fuzzy Wuggy.
Subsequent issues that arose, did that impact your family back in South Florida?
Issues? What issues? It was a speed bump. What issues? I don't want to call them issues. I want to call them speed bumps.
I mean, only to the extent that I think they felt bad for what I was going through, but...
Mm-hmm. I want to show you an exhibit that I've marked as State's Exhibit 59.
Didn't your mother make this voodoo doll? I'd like to introduce into evidence Exhibit F27, the voodoo doll of Professor Markel.
Sorry, 57, Your Honor. I've seen this one before as well. Does that one look familiar?
I don't remember it, to be honest. It's from 10 years ago.
Take a moment to
Oh,
look
that's
through it.
such
Sure.
That's such a long time, isn't it? Yeah. 10 years. No, I can only think back. When I think back, I can go back as 2 years. Anything before that is a complete fog, and my brain is fuzzy.
When you're done, I'll let opposing counsel take a look at it, but go ahead and let us know when you're done reviewing it.
So who's got buffering? Is there a lot of buffering? Yeah, no, I just moved the goddamn cell phone. You know what it is? We moved this table. And you'd think a cell phone, if it was facing a wall, which it was a moment ago, I've just moved it now. It's now pointing clear out the window. You'd think that wouldn't matter. We're not living in the 1995 with one of those. Weren't those great when you had a little like telescopic, what do you call it, aerial antenna thing on the phone, and any time you wanted to take a call, you would flip down the mouthpiece and pull out the antenna. That was so cool.
Yeah.
Rose Jubilee. It's got to be Jubilee Rose, I think, Katherine. Jubilee Rose. I wonder what her speciality is. Jubilee Rose would be doing what? Opening bottles of champagne in her butt cheeks. Yeah, from here on out, guys, if anybody else has a buffering issue, let us know in the comments and we'll move the phone, outside. I don't know. We'll point it north. Hello, Christina. Yes, I'll have the pan-seared ahi with sesame tempura string beans, please, Miss Cappleman. And I think that gentleman up there, the large black man, he has been looking at the dessert trolley for quite some time. Could you bring that out? Rashbound. Rashbound's like Philly cheesesteak. Keep it simple. And tell that midget not to be shy on the barbecue dressing.
All right, are those emails between you and your mother?
I don't think I responded. I think they're just emails from my mom to me. No?
Okay.
Yeah, that's right, isn't it? You didn't respond on what was, known to be going into the record, but you kept those. Yeah. Made damn sure they were on there. Just, I'm Wendi. I sprinkle my breadcrumbs. Well, not my breadcrumbs, just those of other people that I want to go down for this heinous crime that I had nothing to do with.
Mostly all from your mom?
Yeah.
Okay, and the email address says, I think it's something like Wendy Harvey. Can you tell from the content that it's your mom typing rather than your dad?
Yeah,
Miss Cappleman, my parents have been married for 50 years, okay? We don't know. There's no way to tell.
It's Donna Harvey, my two parents' names, so they've been married over 50 years, so they have a joint email.
Yeah. They've been married since before I went to Cambridge or wrote my novel.
Email address. So it's from both of them.
Okay. So what I want to draw your attention to is page...
Yeah, my mom and dad, actually, when they sit down and write an email, they do this cool typing thing, like touch typing, but it's my mother's left hand and my father's right hand on the same keyboard. That's how tight they are, okay? It's from both of them.
2 of that exhibit, that first paragraph there above the word response. Did you have an opportunity to read that?
I read it real fast,
Kind of
but
scanned.
I can read it.
And what I want to draw your attention to is specifically the part that reads, your father has made numerous trips by plane for weekends and changing the patient's schedules around so he can continue to spend significant
Trips by plane. I mean, I thought, I thought that was supposed to be easy, when you were telling Markel to fly up to Tallahassee 3 times a week. Just give him some money, make him fly.
time with the children. Did you?
Are you objecting, Mr. Rauschbaum?
I just didn't hear it get admitted into evidence.
Judge, at this time I'd ask to move this exhibit into evidence, which
Any
is the number I've already
objection?
No objection.
It's 57.
57 is admitted. Go on.
Thank you. So that paragraph, isn't that paragraph going into detail about how the issues surrounding your divorce and litigation is financially impacting in a negative way your parents' business?
That's what my mom says here, yes.
Okay, and it also says, additionally, this loss of income affects my family because my older brother, also a dentist, purchased the practice from my father in mid-July 2012. He has a monthly payment to make to my father based on the sale of the practice. It isn't fair to him to have decreasing monthly income statements from the practice due to my parents spending so much time here in Tallahassee. So this is an argument that your mom is proposing, right, to help you, give you an idea of what might persuade the courts to allow the relocation. Do you agree with that?
Yes, that's what she was doing, yes.
Okay, and she's indicating that both your parents as well as your brother have suffered financially as a result of you not being able to relocate.
Yes.
Okay. And on page... Do you have page numbers in the bottom right corner of your exhibit?
I have them in the top so I can see.
Okay, so 5 of... Well, let me look. Give me a moment. So it'll be the second email in your packet, page 1 of 3.
Okay.
Do you see that?
I see that page.
Okay, and there's a rest of your life highlighted or underlined in the center and in bold. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, right before that, it reads, however, the rest of your life and consequently Dad's, mine, and yes, even Charlie's will be affected by how well you can perform /
Charlie's life is going to be affected. He's going to have to drive his go-kart to Tallahassee every weekend. He has teeth to mend, okay?
/ act before July 31st. You need to be a good actress you can be a good actress when you want to. I've seen you in action. You need to put on the performance of your life. Jibbers hasn't beaten the Adelson family yet. Who's Jibbers?
Jibbers, she's referring to Danny.
And was Jibbers a name he went by or just something you called him by?
It was a silly name, Miss Cappleman, okay? To make him less threatening, you know?
Behind his back.
Jibbers was a silly nickname that I gave him during the divorce proceedings when he was being pretty scary and threatening, and it kind of made me feel less scared of him.
Okay, so not something you called him to his face.
No.
But that was a word
It's the most fucking ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Oh, you know, why don't we just dress him up in the Big Bird costume when he comes into court for the litigation? Yeah, no, there were feathers all over the fucking, board table. Then he laid an egg.
was only used to describe him.
Yes, it was a nickname.
Okay. So in this, again, your mom is referencing how everyone's life is being affected by this relocation, including your brother, Charlie. Do you agree with that?
That is what she said, yes.
All right. Is your mom overprotective of you?
Yes.
All right. And is it fair to say she's, a little on the controlling side?
I don't think
Yeah, but when we go out to eat, I can order whatever I want. No, she picks the restaurant. Yeah, but when I get the menu, the choice is mine. So controlling, no, just with telling me who to marry and where to live, and work. But I had a truffle omelet last week. Delicious.
she's controlling, but she's definitely overprotective.
Did she ever try to micromanage your life?
Yeah, definitely overprotective. She said, "Don't touch the Tabasco. It's a little stale."
Maybe.
What was the question? What was the question?
Overprotective of you?
Yes.
All right. And is it fair to say she's, a little on the controlling side?
I don't think she's controlling, but she's definitely overprotective.
Did she ever try to micromanage your life?
Imagine Donna Adelson taking her whole family out to the van in cuffs. Chain gang of Adelsons.
Maybe, yeah.
Did she have an interest in who you were dating and who you weren't dating and who you should be dating when you were single?
I think she was usually disappointed that I wasn't dating more.
Okay.
Define dating. Well, taking something beyond the physical act of love.
For example, isn't it true that she would not let you drive to and from Tallahassee to South Florida?
Well, I used to drive before I had the boys, but they were young, and she preferred to come with me and give me some extra support.
So what would that look like if you were going to take a trip to South Florida? Would they come up here and get you, or?
No, sometimes I would go myself with the kids, but I was breastfeeding both of them, so it usually looked like me breastfeeding a child while I entertained the other in the Okahumpka rest stop. So
Okay.
it was pretty...
Entertained the other. You just put him in a chair. Here's a magazine. Here's a dental health magazine. Start learning.
It was a lot. It was helpful to have some backup.
All right, and so that time frame you'd be referencing is like the 2013 time frame? Because not around the time of Danny's death you wouldn't have still been breastfeeding, would you?
If Lincoln was...
If you need backup, everybody knows that you take an octopus with you. A giant octopus. They have 8 hands.
3? No, I would have stopped maybe the year before.
Okay.
So maybe
and was it
2012, 2013.
Okay. And wasn't it true that around the time of the death they...
I challenge anybody, to give me one piece of proof that ever indicated that Wendi breastfed at any point in her life.
were still doing this practice where they would prefer to drive you to and from South Florida?
I mean, not every time, but sometimes.
Okay. And
I suppose that would have been in the Lexus, right? Which later changed hands to Katie Magbanua, right? Nice car, family car. Big. Perfect for a drive up and then down.
would your mom sometimes enlist your brother Charlie to convince you to do certain things in your personal life?
Can't really think of an example of that.
Well, dating Dave was a big one on some of the materials I had.
Yeah, people like Dave.
All right, and your mom really liked Dave.
Yeah, everyone liked Dave, but we were just friends.
Okay. Did she try? So she would try to get Charlie to convince you to date a certain person.
I don't think she was getting Charlie to convince me to date Dave. I think everyone liked Dave.
All right, and would she try to get Charlie to convince?
Yeah, wait until Charlie tells you. He was a very low-key t-shirt and jeans kind of guy. Super successful, low-key. We loved Dave. Definitely successful. All that money.
Convince you to do certain things as far as your professional life, what jobs to take.
No, I don't
She
think
didn't.
so.
Let's see if we can make True Crime Metrics as successful as the great Dave, okay? Head on over to buymeadavecoffee.com/True Crime Dave Metrics, or, go and have a look at our PayPal. Our PayPal is the best PayPal. And there's a bunch of other stuff in the links down there in the description. We've got the merch store. We've got the Patreon memberships. We've got the social networks. Those are good. Those are very good. Discord is very good. But the best place, the number one place, the place where Dave would be, is over on buymeacoffee.com/True Crime Metrics. Thank you.
Do that. Would she try to get Charlie to do certain things like advise you on investment decisions, whether or not you were going to buy a house, for example?
I don't think so. I don't remember that. Danny and I made that decision together.
Once you had left Dan and you were living separately, did you look into purchasing a home here in Tallahassee?
I did, yeah.
And did your brother Charlie convince you not to do that?
I don't remember him convincing me not to. The only reason why I didn't was because I was waiting on the money from Danny from the settlement and he didn't pay it, so I couldn't afford the house.
And your mom didn't want you to buy the house, did she?
That's not true. My parents were looking to buy a house in Tallahassee as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have...
Yeah. That's just one of those things that we may never be able to prove otherwise, right, Wendi? Yeah. No, my dad was actually looking to buy a house, in Peru because he loved Machu Picchu, and he always had a dream to live with the alpaca close to Machu Picchu. So he was looking into buying a house there as well.
Strike. Generally speaking, does your mom manipulate the personal lives of her children?
No.
Is your mom, like, if she's really upset about something or worked up about something, is that something that your brother Charlie's going to hear a lot about? Who's going to hear more of it, you or Charlie?
Well, if my mom's upset with me, probably Charlie. And if she's upset with Charlie, probably me.
Okay, so do you...
Yeah. Wasn't that nice and sweet? Well, you know, if I take the last piece of cake out of the fridge, then she'll phone Charlie up and say, "Oh, that Wendy's been so bad." And if Charlie drops his cell phone into his patient's mouth, she'll phone me up and say, "Oh, that Charlie's been so bad." You know, it was like, doesn't that just sound like one of those, like a Leave It to Beaver or something? You know, it's just...
You get a lot of that? Do you hear a lot?
If she's more upset with Charlie than me.
What about, let's go back. Let's go to before the murder. Did you get a lot of Donna just giving you an earful about what Charlie needs to be doing?
Probably at some point.
What was Charlie doing with his personal life? What did his personal life look like?
Asians. Mainly Asians. I think there was a soccer player Asian. He sort of collected them, you know, like people used to do with Barbie dolls. You know, there was volleyball Barbie and Malibu Barbie and the other one. So I think his next on his collection list was what would be next on his collection list? Let's think. We've had a June, we've had Ghetto Girl, Hippo Teeth, and I think maybe a rodeo. How about that? Can we see Charlie with a rodeo style Asian? I wonder if AI can make that happen right now.
At what point?
Before the murder.
I mean, at what period of time before?
All of them. Wasn't it just a revolving door of girlfriends?
Right, but my mom didn't complain to me about that.
Look at him. He's like, no. But secretly, yes. You know, he's denying it at the same time as loving hearing it. Wasn't it just a revolving door of constant, beautiful women? So, no, me? No. Yes.
She didn't mind that with him.
I don't understand the question.
She didn't mind if he went from girl to girl to girl. That was acceptable.
She didn't really weigh in on it, no.
Who talked to her more, you or Charlie?
Charlie.
A lot more, right?
Yeah.
At the time of Dan Markel's murder, were your parents extremely angry with Dan?
At that point, no. They were in a much better place.
Yeah, they were in a banana bread place, you know. Any you know, sort of budget baked goods. There was an exchange one time. Do you think next trial she's going to be like, listen, my mom bakes him banana bread, and then Dan baked her what would it be? You know, a nut loaf or a pound cake. Yeah. Which what would Dan prepare as a home cooked or baked, you know, peace offering kind of thing? What would Dan bake? Let's see. What do Jews bake? Let's check it out. A Jewish cake. Apple cake. Well, that, you know. Or what else are they going to cook? Lakash. which is a honey cake. That will, mix the two together, honey apple cake.
I want to direct your attention to an interview that was conducted on,
Dave's not here, man.
I think this was your law enforcement interview. So July 18th, 2014. And I'm specifically for court and counsel looking at page 27, lines 11 and 12. I've got it open to the page, but you can flip around if you need to familiarize yourself.
Sure.
And I'll take that exhibit if you want.
Do you want me to flip through or just look at this one page?
If you'll just look at that one page, well, I mean, not that reminder. 27. Let me get to where you are. So page 27 there, lines 11 and 12, and I've got it highlighted for you.
Yes,
Says, Ms. Adelson, my parents are, very angry toward him. Is that true?
Yeah. He Dan liked chocolate chips, no nuts. But they made it nuts, no chocolate chips. So they were pretty pissed.
Was that
Isn't that
true?
what you said? Your parents were...
And the bananas were really old. I mean, really old. So
very angry toward Dan.
Can I read the rest of the sentence?
Sure.
So I say, my parents are very angry towards him, but even when they're around my kids, they would never say a bad word about my kid's father.
And then on page...
Yeah. Apart from, it's funny, right? Because there was courtroom litigation. Documented proof. Well, I guess it was alleged, right? But it's kind of funny that she specifically said they would never say a bad word about my kid's father, while there is currently, filings on record alleging that they said bad words about the kid's father. Hey, Louise, bang! Welcome back, Louise.
Page 288, line 24
Pinto!
through page 289, line...
Bagel bananas, banana bagels. My mother baked Dan banana bagels every week. And then, to serve them, she would take one whole banana and put 4 bagels on it. That was her presentation. That was her serving style.
One, and that's going to be...
Oh, look at Christina with the flex. Kugel, Rugelash. We're doing the Lekash and Jewish apple cake mixed. Honey apple. That's what I put on my porridge. And cinnamon, of course.
Didn't you say, it's like my parents have more reason to dislike Danny than almost anyone else?
Yeah, definitely. Especially after the last time we played Family Monopoly. Okay? Dan was the banker and, he took ages to count out the money. So they definitely had beef. Serious Monopoly beef.
Is that what you said?
That is what I said.
And that's because he hurt you, right?
And I was saying that...
Miss Cappleman, the Monopoly incident is not in here.
The context of talking to law enforcement for hours and hours and trying to help them figure out.
Hey, yeah, trying, coming up with names. Oh, I said it could have been a student that he gave a bad grade. I said it could have been Amy Adler's crazy ex. And then of course, jealous rage thug Lacasse. He came up. And then, also my parents and brother. But that was more about the Monopoly thing.
Who might be responsible.
Right, and who did you tell them might be responsible?
Well, I told them many, many people, but are you asking about this?
Yeah, many people, including jealous rage thug Jeff Lacasse.
Particular moment right here?
You told them your family might be responsible.
Or
didn't
potentially
you?
someone to do with a former student or his current girlfriend. I mentioned lots of people that I thought could be responsible.
Okay, and of the
Maybe somebody was trying to steal an Amazon package and he got home early. Yeah, could happen. Or maybe a pelican flew down and had a gun in his beak. Well, the thing about the student is like, look, who could have killed her? Maybe a student with a bad grade, yeah. Or maybe one of the cafeteria workers who made him a special bowl of custard that he didn't finish. And she put a lot of love into that custard. She was very hurt about that. It was all round the faculty lounge. The custard incident. Could have been that, yeah.
lots of people.
Did anybody find a whisk at the scene? That was our first clue, yeah. No bullets, no shell casings, but there was this whisk. Okay, I want Florida State University locked down. Nobody in or out. Nobody move.
People that could have been responsible. Your family was one.
Yep.
Because they might have done this thinking it would help you.
Family, student, whisk lady.
I mean, that's what happened, right?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Your family had your...
I don't understand the question either. I don't understand the speaking style either. What is that's neurolinguistic programming, and it's horrible. Does that even work anymore? Or is everybody like, yeah, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to hypnotize me. How about I just give you all my money and you leave now?
ex-husband killed to try to help you, didn't they?
No, that's completely untrue.
In
Yeah, it's completely untrue. Did you not read what I put about the pelican?
back to the divorce, the petition where Danny is responding to your petition for the motion to relocate. Are you familiar with that filing, or do you need to take a look at it?
I need to take a look at it.
All right, it's going to be page 7.
Miss Cappleman, it's been 10 years. Okay? 10 years.
79 through 101, and this is back to our exhibit 56. And again, that was the filing begins on page 79. I'm specifically interested in 82. And in this filing, doesn't Mr. Markel say, quote, the husband affirmatively alleges that the wife helped herself to non-marital assets, including money and stocks owned prior to marriage, as well as numerous personal non-marital belongings of the husband, such as luggage, bicycle, tennis racket, and family heirlooms. The wife has refused to return these items or to allow the husband into her home to see what other personal belongings were taken without his permission or acquiescence. So my point is, he's accusing you of theft in this paragraph.
Those are the words that are here, yes.
Yeah, and he's very adamantly objecting to your...
Yeah, I stole a 500 from the bank. A couple of hotels. He's a stickler. He even has... Whenever Dan played Monopoly, he always had those little green eye shades. Tiny little pencil.
Your relocation, right? On page 82, it says the sole stated reason the wife seeks to relocate is so that she can be closer to her parents. Was being near your parents the sole reason that you wanted to relocate?
No.
It wasn't the sole reason stated in your petition?
It wasn't the sole reason stated in my petition, and it wasn't the sole reason that he and I talked about before I filed the motion to relocate.
Why was he so adamant and so confident that this was the real reason you wanted to be down there?
I think there's a lot of things in these pleadings that are not true, so just because it says something doesn't make it true.
Sure, but did he know that your mom was just grinding on this issue of trying to get you down there?
He would have had no idea.
That wouldn't have been known to him?
I'm sure of it, Kiwi Vanderman. Kiwi Vanderman says, I often wonder if any of the live stream dissections of this case has led to key points of indirect evidence bubbling up to Cappleman's office. Yeah, that happens all the time. There was a bunch of stuff in the Stephen Avery I remember hearing about because everybody was looking at photos, right? And, there's just so many eyes that people see things, don't they? Well, I know for a fact that Georgia Cappleman is probably tuned in right now, waiting for a little nugget of metrics truth. No, it does happen. I think I've seen examples of it in this case.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't think so. What was the question?
The motion to relocate.
Why was he so adamant and so confident that this was the real reason you wanted to be down there?
I think there's a lot of things in these pleadings that are not true, so just because it says something doesn't make it true.
Sure, but did he know?
Yeah, but those are all the things that you said. There's a lot in this document that isn't true. Everything I wrote. Everything with my name signed underneath. Not true.
Know that your mom was just grinding on this issue of trying to get you down there?
He would have had no idea.
He wouldn't have been...
Can we not use the word grinding in the same sentence as a reference to Donna fucking Adelson, please?
That wouldn't have been known to him?
I don't think so.
But he was accusing you in these pleadings of all kind of stuff, right? I mean, I'm not saying it's true, but hiding financial assets, failing to disclose things, kidnapping his kids.
Kiwi Vadimer says, maybe TCM is Cappleman with a voice changer. Dun, dun, dun. We got a Scooby-Doo ending. And I also own the Haunted Amusement Park.
In the middle of, his business trip, all those sorts of things, right?
Yes, you said lots of things.
All right, and you said a lot of things too. There's filings going both ways.
Yeah, but Miss Cappleman, mine were not venomous. He was like, a diamondback rattle. We could always tell when he was coming into court because there would be that rattle.
That are pretty venomous. Would you agree with that?
I would not agree with that.
Yours were pleasant.
I'm not saying divorce filings are pleasant, but mine were not venomous.
Okay.
Yeah. I was more like a sort of a baby pony. I was a baby pony and he was a diamondback rattle.
Did your mother, Donna Adelson, review the filing in which Dan Markel is accusing you of this theft and all this stuff?
I don't remember if she did.
What about the one where Dan Markel is asking that your mother not be permitted to have unsupervised visitation with the kids?
My mom never saw that because after he filed that, he then asked my parents to babysit the kids. And my mom baked him banana bread, gave him a hug goodbye. So there was nothing truthful about that pleading that he filed, and my mom never saw it.
Why do you think he filed that?
He was really angry at me for leaving him.
Okay, so he didn't really want...
Another jealous thug, right, Miss Adelson? We had jealous rage thug, Jeff. And, yeah. These men, they just can't take rejection.
Limit your mom's visitation with the kids.
No,
And
he
that's
asked for her to
evidenced.
babysit after he filed that.
Evidenced by the banana bread.
Did I not just tell you about the bread? I want the banana bread to be in the filing, Dan wants a 50-50 timeshare with the bread.
And so she didn't even know about that filing.
She never knew about it.
Okay. And when she laid all those options out in that email to you about other options that you could take to secure the relocation, as far as bribing, remember that? Converting the Christian children to Christianity, remember that suggestion?
I sure do.
Okay. What did she put in there that she viewed as your most non-negotiable and most important part of your divorce?
I don't know. Do you have something I can see?
States Exhibit 57. And it is page 1. Page 1, paragraph 2.
So you want me to read what she said here?
I want you to answer the question. What was the most important part?
Of the divorce for my mom.
Yes.
It says here that for her it was relocation.
All right. And did you have 2 8-hour mediations in your divorce?
We had 2 very long mediations. I don't remember exactly how long they were, but they
Did
felt
they
like a very
result
long
in
time.
Yeah, it was about, it was the whole day. So, how many, 24 hours in a day? The fuck? Yeah, can't commit. 8 hour, 7.5 hour, I don't know.
resolution?
No.
Was Mr. Markel seeking to depose your mom as part of the divorce?
I don't remember that.
Do you know if it ever happened?
I don't think it happened. I don't remember it.
Was the prospect of that upsetting to your mom?
I don't think so. I don't remember it, so I don't remember talking with her about it or...
Did your mom call Dan any disparaging names around this time frame?
Well, I just read them in the emails, but I
Okay.
don't remember them.
Yeah, it was Banana Bread Boy and Crumb Boy, Crummy. Called him Crummy.
Independently.
Okay. Did she call him an asshole?
Yes.
A narcissist?
Correction, Miss Cappleman, it was giant asshole.
Yes.
A bully?
Yes.
Religious zealot?
Yes.
Bastard?
That I don't
here we
remember.
go.
Page 5.
Mr. Emotional Maturity over here. She's swearing in class. Was that a curse word? Oh my god. The teacher just cursed.
Okay. Is it page 5 from the first email?
Yes, if you'll just go through by the physical pages.
I see, yes.
I'm sorry, what was your answer?
Yes.
Fucker?
Yes.
But in all the filings made on your behalf by the different lawyers that you had, and all of the emails that your mom sent, he was never described as abusive.
I mean, he was described as emotionally abusive, yes.
Can you show
He was described as a terrorist.
me where he was described as emotionally abusive in any of those items?
Well, not by my mom, but in the pleadings.
Okay, show me that.
It's going to take me a while to find it.
Okay, well,
Yeah. No, he was abusive to my mom. You know, she baked him that banana bread and he never returned the plate.
it's
You want me
not
to-
in
And then he acted like he did, but we knew. We knew.
there, but you can get back to me
Well,
with
it is in there.
Objection, Your Honor.
What's your objection?
The comment, she's not testifying.
Hold on, please approve.
So would you have to review the whole file in order to find that, or could you give us a starting point of which filing it might be located in?
It might be under the petition to relocate. It might be under the initial divorce proceedings.
Okay.
It wouldn't be in emails from my mom, but it would.
So somewhere in the middle then. Well, it's definitely not the first page.
Go out to find it. It might be in the depositions.
Okay, did you view yourself as being stuck?
Great way to try and look helpful, Wendy. You know, I'll just name off. I'll name some. You know, I'll do anything I can to help. Maybe in the filing, or could be the deposition.
Here in Tallahassee, once the relocation was denied?
I didn't. I mean, I had a really nice life here. I did not view.
Did I not tell you about the book club and the fucking food truck? I had a nice life. We would go to the food truck and then on to the book club. And then, you know, Saturday, jealous rage thug is taking me to the movie theater with the sticky floors, which I love. And then we, well, that about sums it up.
View myself as being stuck.
Would you please turn to page 176 in that exhibit in front of you? I think it's highlighted for you.
Yeah, Katherine. That's a power thing, isn't it? You know, she has those heels specially made from the bone of well, what would it be? What's heavy and hard? Not bone, I guess. Dinosaur fossil. Georgia Cappleman's world famous dinosaur fossil heels. You know, cups of water all over the courtroom are rippling.
Did you describe yourself in that filing as being stuck in Tallahassee?
I don't see it. You said it was highlighted, but there's nothing highlighted.
Stuck. Yeah, no. I was stuck when I was attending the pig race. Did I dream this, or did I find out recently that there is actually a pig race? Because for years, I've been looking at Isom and saying he is 6-time county champion of the Tallahassee pig race, where they race a pig right into a swamp, and he's got skills. But it is actually a real thing. I made that up. I just, you know, because the Adelsons hate Tallahassee, I just thought, I went to my mind and I looked in my mind and I tried to think about the most hick thing possible that there could be, and created that from my mind. And it's real. That's so funny.
Okay. 176. My page. I didn't highlight it for you. Okay. Just a moment.
I see the word stuck. I found it.
Okay. So did you describe, at least in one occasion, being stuck in Tallahassee?
No, can I read the sentence?
Sure.
So it says, the husband has made it difficult for the wife with her colleagues at her current position due to his statements and actions, and the husband's intent is to relocate to a larger area at some point. So the wife is merely stuck in Tallahassee until the husband decides that the time is right for him to leave.
All right.
Meaning,
and had he accepted a job anywhere else by the time that he was murdered?
no, he hadn't yet been offered a job, but he was always looking.
Okay. So he was just going to move and just let you have the kids at that point?
He probably would have done what I did, which is have a conversation and see if it was a place that made sense for both of us to live.
And would you have moved to where?
Yeah, we had a list. Des Moines, no. St. Louis, no. How about Montgomery? No. No, they don't have dentists or lawyers. You got a legal issue in Alabama, you just go to where would you go? You would go to a well, somewhere muddy, I guess. You would find a lawyer in the mud.
Wherever he got a great job and started a new life there?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay. Did you like
Potentially, if it happened to be one of the 7 wonders of the world cities. You know, here's some I would have considered. Miami. London. What else would she like? I'm surprised she doesn't live in Singapore, to be honest. She looks like she'd be right at home in Singapore. Where? Sydney. No. She wouldn't get along with kangaroos.
Tallahassee?
I did.
And you said, I think you did say this, but let me clarify. Was your mom aware of the order denying relocation?
My mom was aware of the order denying relocation.
And what about your brother, Charlie? Was he aware of that as well?
I'm sure my mom would have said something to him.
All right, so did your mom suggest any ways that you might coerce Dan Markel to let you move with the kids to South Florida?
Yes, I think we talked about that before.
We did, and for this I'm referring...
No one wants to live in New York anymore. You know, do they? It's so steamy.
Back to those emails. And in particular, the bribe. So another bribe to get him to allow relocation. I'm on page 5 of 5 of the first email for the defense. Another bribe.
Look at that fucking filing on the desk. And that's just one of them. No wonder your lawyers were $600 an hour. I'd look at that and go, okay, what are we talking about here? There's a house and 2 kids. What is all this? We gotta go through all this. It's $600 an hour.
To get him to allow relocation should be the offer of plane tickets so that he can fly back and forth, right? So you're gonna potentially offer this big monetary benefit that would allow him to fly back and forth to work. Is that the idea?
I never said that I was going to do any of that.
Okay, was that the idea that you're...
do you think Harvey Adelson had some contacts at the airport and was planning to, make sure a couple of pigeons flew into the engine or something? Take him out, crash the plane. We're going to crash the plane. You see, that would have been way cooler than hiring the Latin King gang thugs. We're taking out the plane. As he boarded, make sure he doesn't get off.
Your mom had.
That was the
Charlie, call air traffic control.
idea.
All right, and the amount of the bribe is going to be, or was at least discussed as being $1 million. Is that right?
That is what they said.
Okay, and did you agree with that?
That they were going to pay in increments, just he's our employee now. Yeah. Come and get your check, little man. Come and get your check, little man.
No.
Would that have worked?
I have no idea if it would have worked, but...
You think he might have taken $1 million to let his kids go?
Well, he wasn't letting his kids go. He would have moved to South Florida, and he would have commuted back and forth to his job. So, maybe.
Yeah, he would have done all that as our bitch. That was going to be our new name for him. Bitch boy Markel. Come on, get your check, bitch boy. No, say please. Say please. Like, they're holding it up and he's jumping. Yeah, come on. Jump up.
Well, then why wasn't it offered?
Because I didn't want to do it.
All right, what about the idea that you could...
That's my money. Why would I pay him $1 million? I'll just get my mother and brother to murder him, make sure they take the fall, and then all of the money will come to me. Bitch boy gets a bullet bourbon, and I get the cash.
try to threaten Dan to...
Yes, everybody, please leave a like on the video. Leave a like on the video. That would be very good. That's a great way to support the channel. Other ways to support the channel are on buymeacoffee.com, where you can buy us at coffee.com/True Crime Metrics. Links in the description to PayPal, Patreon, merchandise over at Bonfire, fabulous Bonfire. Those deliveries are running so smoothly. 100% record, 100% record. And social networks, including Discord.
To convert the kids to Christianity so that they can fit into the Bible Belt here in Tallahassee. Is that something your mom suggested in these emails?
My mom did suggest that.
Okay, and specifically, this is on page 7 of the exhibit. Let Jibbers know that your children will be baptized in the Catholic Church. Have a picture made of them in front of the church, all that kind of thing. That's what your mom suggested at one time.
She did, yes.
You see, if it had been like a black gospel church, I'd have been up for that. Like in the Blues Brothers, with James Brown singing at the what do you call it? The pulpit. What do you call it? Where does the reverend stand? You know, podium thing, whatever. Yeah, you know. Which would have been a completely different outcome. We could have had, you know, it wouldn't just be the Adelson boys or the Markel boys. It would be Soul Brothers Markel. The Markel Soul Brothers. That would have been awesome. What a great... That'd be like the alternative outtakes movie, the fantasy version of this tale.
Okay, and did you do any of those things?
Godfather
I
of
don't
Soul.
even think I responded to it.
Do you know whether the defendant, your brother Charlie, was supportive of the plan to convert them or pose as converting them to Christianity?
I have no idea. I don't think he was particularly involved in this round of my mom's emails.
On page 11 of the exhibit, there's an indication from your mom that Charlie at least has discussed this with her and maybe is somewhat supportive. Charlie brought up a good point when he said that Americans were dropped behind enemy lines during World War II wearing Nazi uniforms to get what they wanted. They had a job to get done, and they did what they needed to do to accomplish it.
Well, I'm sure that happened a lot. And, as far as a success rate, it would have been a mix, right? Why does he choose something that's like this absolute, this can never fail idea, and then goes, yeah. In World War II, we're like, 30 million people died. We're gonna D-Day. Well, we're gonna get in a boat and we're just gonna land on the beach. We can't lose. I've seen it on the History Channel. It was, we won.
You have a job to get done in a very short time frame to accomplish it. If you dressed your kids up in Hitler youth uniforms and brought them down here, I could care less. If it was an act of defiance.
I think that is actually what the lieutenant said when they took Omaha Beach. You have a job to get done and a very short time to accomplish it.
That would show Gibbers that he's, all caps and bold, not in control. So it just seems like...
Who's in control now, Donna? What's that, Donna? You want a Band-Aid? Nah, you're gonna have to fill out a medical form. Yeah. No, sorry, I don't have any. No. All out. Why don't you go and see if one of your bunkies has got a Tampax or a sanitary towel. Yeah. No, that'll be fine. Until morning, that'll be fine. Not in control.
Your mom was pretty extreme about this situation of getting you relocated. Can you agree with that?
Yeah.
All right, and Charlie was at least consulted on it or had offered some information about it.
Well, that was my mom's rendition.
Yeah, but Charlie had literally just watched Saving Private Ryan. So he was all, everything was a reference to WW2.
So I don't know if that's what actually happened or that was her perception.
Sure. Were you involved in the effort to consult a lawyer about the bribe and whether that was going to be legal?
I wasn't the lawyer consulted in that.
No. Were you involved in consulting a lawyer with your mom? Okay. Do you know for sure if any financial offer was or was not made to Dan Markel?
I couldn't say for sure if they made it to Danny without me knowing, but I don't think so.
Is that something they would do? Is try to?
Yeah, that'd be weird, wouldn't it? What would be the point of that? We're gonna pay him $1 million to get you relocated, but after we pay him, we're not gonna tell you. Yeah, no. Let us know if we can come up to Tallahassee sometime.
Negotiate with him behind your back or deal with this situation behind your back?
I don't think so. I think I would have known. Danny probably would have told me.
But you definitely didn't extend any of these offers or threats?
No.
When was the divorce final?
The summer of 2013.
All right, I'm going to switch gears for a minute and talk about phone stuff. Was your cell phone collected by the police in this case after Dan was shot?
I gave the police my cell phone and asked them to search it if it could be useful.
All right. And around the time of the murder, was your number 954-803-0079?
It was.
And can you agree that the numbers, let me show you an exhibit. 59, I believe. You will? Okay. Well, I want to explain what it is. Okay. Yeah, so I talked a lot about converting to Christianity, but I didn't mention what religion you are. We talked about Dan being more religious than you are, but we didn't talk about what religion you are. So could you explain that to the jury, please?
Sure, I'm Jewish.
And Dan was as well, right?
And Danny was Jewish as well.
Okay. So I had this exhibit 59. This is not 59. Yes, that's what we did. One moment. You may not be able to do this, but states 59, I've got phone numbers attributed to your family members. Obviously, you don't know the other people. Are those phone numbers accurate, if you know, for the time frame around the murder?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then you are also familiar with the wiretap that was conducted in this case?
Yes.
And did I provide you a disc labeled Disc 107, ask you to review some calls and see if you could authenticate the voices on those calls?
Yes.
All right, and for that, I made you a little spreadsheet, which I've marked as 61. And were you able to initial by each call indicating that the highlighted names are the voices of the people they purport to be?
Yes.
Judge, at this time, I ask to move to evidence state 61.
Any objection?
No objection, no.
State 61 is admitted.
All right, and if we can shift back to, we talked about your divorce being final. Once the divorce was final, weren't there still a lot of filings that went back and forth between both you and Dan Markel?
Yes and no. The divorce was final. We had a final settlement agreement. Mm-hmm. The agreement was I take my name off the title to the house. He pays me half the value to the house. So for within the first week, I went and took my name off the title to the house, and I waited until...
I did my bit. First week, straight away. You know, I love agreements. You know, I always adhere to my agreements. Skype calls, sell the house.
October, when he was supposed to get back to me, he never paid me the money, and so I called.
Yeah, unreliable he was.
And I asked what happened. That was the deal, and he said, I have compelling reason.
Can you see my honest hands? Look at my honest hands. They're over here, they're over here. So, you know, they're everywhere, and they're really honest.
I'm not going to pay you. And so I made one filing, a motion to enforce the settlement agreement, because he didn't do it.
Right. So you...
Do you think that's what the hand thing? Do you think that's what she does when she speaks Spanish? She has Spanish hands. Spanish honest hands. You know. You should see me eat a taco.
You believe that he owed you money pursuant to the settlement agreement.
Yes.
He was in violation of the settlement agreement.
Yes.
And he was of the belief that you had withheld some financial things from your affidavit, and maybe he didn't owe you the money that you had previously agreed on because you had not been honest in the initial disclosures, right?
He accused my attorney of having unclean hands and committing a crime.
Yeah, and assisting you in withholding this money from the disclosures. Okay. All right, so I want to ask you about the motion to enforce marital settlement agreement and hold Dan Markel in contempt of court. That was filed, you may need to refresh your memory, October 31st, 2013. Give you the exhibit 56 and have you take a look at, this is going to be on 338. All right, could you just read the title, the caption of that filing?
Motion to enforce marital settlement agreement and to show cause why the former husband should not be held in contempt of court.
What does it mean to be held in contempt of court?
It means not to be doing what the court has asked you to do.
What can happen to you if you're held in contempt of court?
I don't know, really.
Could you be jailed?
I don't know.
All right. And when was this filed? This was you filing it, right? I mean, you're the client.
What is a court? I'm a lawyer by training, okay? Now I work at the car wash.
Client.
Right.
You're asking that he be held in contempt. And
I
you don't know
filed
what
this-
that means?
I mean, at the time I filed, which was 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well,
At the time I filed, I had a completely different, professional vocation and vocabulary to go with it, right? So, 10 years, I change every year. This year it's the car wash. Next year, bowling alley. It's the Adelson Institute Bowling Alley. We have a special custom novelty bowling ball in the shape of my dad's head.
refresh your recollection with
Okay.
the document. Goes through 340.
Okay, I have it.
Okay. So, what was it you were asking for in this motion?
It was what I just mentioned. So basically, I took my name off the title to the house. He never paid. This was asking him to pay.
Cough up the money or be held in contempt?
Yep.
Okay. And what day was this filed?
This was filed on October 31st, 2013.
All right, so Halloween of 13, and that's the same day that you backed out of the contract to purchase the house in Tallahassee, right?
I don't remember
that?
what day that was.
Okay. Do you remember that it was your brother Charlie that specifically convinced you to back out of that particular house deal?
I don't actually. I don't remember that.
Yeah. I don't remember. Listen, I don't remember, Georgia. Now, if you asked me if you wanted to wax and polish, I could tell you how to do that straight away, you know? But now, any lawyer questions, it was 10 years ago. Be great in the skit version, wouldn't it? those characters that just keep saying the same thing over and over again. It was 10 years ago. I can't think of a scenario, but you know what I mean.
Approach and see if these text messages refresh your recollection.
Okay.
And you may have to look around for context, but I'm specifically looking at this one.
Okay. Okay.
Does that refresh your recollection?
Honestly, I mean, I can read what's here, but I still don't remember.
Don't really remember. And after pulling the plug on the house, there were some emails where you were saying you can't answer the phone, you're crying too hard about the house. Like you seem genuinely upset about pulling the plug on the house, but now you don't remember it?
Mm-hmm. Can't answer the phone, huh? Because of what that Markel's doing. Can you imagine how much that stirred up the murder in Donna?
Well, it's been 10 years,
Sure.
So a lot of terrible things have happened since then. It's hard to remember.
Well, the big one was, the murder, right? Has anything worse happened? Oh, we ordered chicken and waffles at Yardbird, and it came out cold. So, a lot of terrible things have happened.
Don't recall.
I really liked the house and was excited about it, but it was more than I can afford at the time. That's what I remember, is talking with the real estate agent and having her say we'd find another house, and it wasn't the right one.
Would you have any reason to dispute that occurred on Halloween of 2013?
No, it probably did. I just don't remember.
Okay, and then a few months later, on February 14th of 2014, there was another filing. I want to draw your attention to page 379. I'm ask you what that document is.
Do you want me to read the title of the document?
Yes, please.
Former husband's counter motion to enforce marital settlement agreements, financial provisions, and incorporated motion for sanctions.
Do you remember this filing?
I don't remember this filing, but in anticipation of my testimony today, I refreshed and reread it.
Okay, and he accuses you in this filing of breaching the marital settlement agreement in various ways, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and committing a fraud upon the court by omitting the $200,000 in assets from your financial affidavit.
That is
in
what he
there?
was alleging.
And asked the court to sanction you.
Yes, that's what he
And-
said.
Okay, so again, you're both seeking the court to sanction each other. I mean, them's fighting words and lawyer terms, right?
Well, I was filing a motion to enforce a settlement agreement, so I don't think that's really fighting words. That's just asking the court to complete what it already said it wanted to do.
Okay. And on page 379, Dan suggests that the court send a strong message about your malfeasance by awarding him the entirety of the undisclosed assets of over $200,000, right?
That is what he asked for.
Okay, and then on March 10th of 2014, on page 437, do you respond with your motion to dismiss the former husband's counter motion to enforce the marital settlement agreement that we just talked about?
I'm sorry, what is the page number?
437.
I'm not familiar with this, but do you want me to read through it?
Could you read the caption aloud, please?
Sure. Motion to dismiss the former husband's counter motion to enforce marital settlement agreements financial provisions, an incorporated motion for sanctions for failure to state a cause of action, and motion to strike as a sham pleading, and motion to strike as redundant, immaterial, impertinent, and scandalous pleading.
And then if you'll go to page 439.
Any more synonyms you want to throw on there, Wendi? I hate that line. Impertinent, scandalous. What was it? Gotta hear it again. This is probably a line from her book, right? It's as bad as her book.
Motion to dismiss the former husband's counter motion to enforce marital settlement agreements financial provisions, an incorporated motion for sanctions for failure to state a cause of action, and motion to strike as a sham pleading, and motion to strike as redundant, immaterial, impertinent, and scandalous pleading.
Redundant, immaterial, impertinent, scandalous. All of those mean the same thing. Pretty much. This is redundant, immaterial, impertinent, and scandalous. You know, especially in legal writing, I mean, even in creative writing, it would be clumsy and shit and superfluous. There you go. There's another one. There's another one to stick on the end of your shit letter, bitch. Even in creative writing, it's almost like ironic, you know? Those four words together: redundant, immaterial, impertinent, scandalous. Pretty much are all synonymous with each other. Within 2 degrees, you know? And 4 of them. In creative writing, that would be shit. In a legal document, it pisses people off. A judge would hate to read that. Judge is like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to read. No wonder it's fucking that huge document. It's because you use 4 words where one will do. That's probably throughout the legal document. Judges hate that shit, man. Waste my time with this inflammatory. Should we do it with inflammatory? This inflammatory, burning, steaming.
And then if you'll go to page 439, do you see a paragraph that begins, the vast majority of the former husband's motion?
Actually, don't see that. On page 439?
Yes, ma'am. I think I have it pulled out.
On number 8.
Yeah, the vast majority of the former husband's motion contains allegations that are redundant, immaterial, impertinent, and scandalous. Yada yada. He's making false and immaterial statements against you. His pleadings only prove
Yeah, that is correct. Shasta. Oh, are you a scholar? What did you think about redundant, impertinent, scandalous, and what was it? Doesn't matter. Shasta says that so the house deal fell through the same day Charlie broached the murder for hire, right? Charlie said, "Don't buy the house. I'll take care of it." Yeah. You remember the call with Donna? I got it done in one call. She said, "Give me a reason I shouldn't buy the house." I said, "You know what? I'll give you 3 reasons. Buying that house will be the second worst decision of your life," you know, and all that. And then he was boasting to Donna. She called him the golden boy, and blah 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 blah. Yeah. That was this.
he is a disgruntled former husband who cannot move past this disillusion.
But also, Shasta, what I'm not gonna. I never put out theories that I'm not pretty much certain of. In fact, I'm going to say I'm 100% certain. Wendi Adelson pretended to be buying that house as a tool to increase pressure on her mother and brother to actuate the murder and, force it over the line. Now, she can't have a phone call or even a quiet meeting in person and say, we need to hurry up with the murder. Because one, that's just a request without any consequence, right? And two, it's a statement that, could be recorded somehow. So what's the perfect thing? Mom, I can't do the legal battle anymore, Mom. He's won. He walked all over us in court. We're never going to beat him. He's too good, Mom. Even with our high-priced lawyers, he's too good. I'm fatigued. I'm giving up. He won. I'm gonna make a nice life up here. I'm gonna make the most of it, Mom. I'll get a new house. I'll buy a house for me and the boys. Nice place. You can still visit. Nice place. And the threats of getting involved with a purchase like a house, yeah, you can get out of it, but you'll lose money doing that. You'll lose a boat of money. It's a nice ticking pressure clock for Donna to go to Charlie and say, okay, we need to speed things up here. What is happening? We need this murder right now. I want to make this murder happen today. How do we do that? And Charlie's like running around. He's getting urgent. Because why? Because Wendi needs to know that the murder is done, or set up at least, so that she can pull out of her pretend purchase house. It's so clear. No one talks about it. It's another one, only seen on metrics. And I don't bullshit. I'm not one of these moron thug heads that go around saying, well, I heard that there was an attempt for the Lewis and the Sigfredo to get a car that looked like Jeff car. Yeah, I'm not one of those, Muppet heads that does that. I come up with good stuff that no one else sees. Why? Because we're first choice.
It's getting personal. Would you agree with that?
My attorney here is responding to his pleading, which was over the top.
And this is over the top, right?
I don't think so, no.
Over the top. We're on page 1. Wait till you get to 33,826. That's where he really loses it.
Then 6 days later, Dan files another motion seeking action against your mother, and that's the one we've already touched on. That's page 441. Is that right?
Page 441.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that's what we talked about.
Okay. Former husband's counter motion for enforcement of marital settlement agreement on parenting issues and motion for contempt and sanctions. Here he's alleging, again, more violations of the marital settlement agreement, including communication between he and the boys. He wasn't happy with how much communication was happening, failing to keep him informed of where his kids are, failure to communicate about parenting decisions like the kids' schooling, diet, and extracurricular activities, and refusal to provide him access to the kids on their birthdays. So he's complaining about a lot of things associated with this, not just money stuff, it's parenting stuff too, right?
That's right.
And isn't it in this motion that...
Hold on, Ms. Cappleman.
Yes, sir.
Court reporter
Oh.
to respond.
I said that's right.
Isn't it in this motion that Dan Markel seeks to enjoin you from allowing your mother from spending time with the kids without supervision?
Can you please show me which page that's on?
450. Do you see a paragraph beginning on 3 specific occasions?
Yes, I do.
Could you read that, please?
8A, on 3 specific occasions in November 2013, the children informed Mr. Markel, "Abba, Dad, Grandma says you're stupid." When queried as to why Grandma, the maternal grandmother, would say such things, the children replied jointly that it is because she says you are trying to take her sunshines away from her.
And continue, please.
In December 2013,
you don't have to say the name.
Yeah.
Your child.
My child, the younger son, further stated to Mr. Markel in front of the former wife, "Abba, Grandma says she hates you." The children were visiting with their grandparents at that time.
Mr. Markel is concerned that continued exposure to such negativity.
Yeah, she says your kosher diet is for suckers. Hey, we got any bacon piles around here, Dad? Abba? Where's my bacon tower? At the Icon, we got a bacon tower. Yeah, I actually shaped and carved into the as a replica of the building that we're in. You got any of those, Abba?
He forms a foundation for parental alienation. Is that what he was alleging about your mom?
That is what he is alleging in this document, yes.
And this was filed in court?
He filed this in court.
On what date?
It will be at the front of the document, right?
Yes, ma'am, page 441.
Michelle, how you doing? Good to see you, Michelle.
This was filed on March 26th, 2014.
And this was the filing that never got ruled on, right?
One thing you can never take away from Wendi Adelson is that she's fantastic at reading dates. You know, and she does it in this way, doesn't she? That appears helpful somehow. You know, that's what she hangs on to keep her character in mind. I mean, I'm here to help. I've done nothing but help in this process. What more do you want?
I don't believe that.
Did I tell you I spoke to the police for 6 hours without an attorney, even though, I was the attorney?
There was any ruling on that.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? That'd be great. Wendi Adelson gets arrested and immediately says, "I want a lawyer." And they say, "Okay, who do you want us to call?" And she says, "Me." Personally, I think she should just get Dan Rashbaum back. Fuck it. That'd be like a reunion. We could bring in who could we bring in? Maybe by the time Wendi does get arrested, Luis Rivera will be out, and he can sit in the gallery next to Joel from Surviving the Survivor. Oh, he'd want an interview straight away, wouldn't he? Can I talk to you in the hall? Wait, let me set up my cell phone on this little gimbal. Okay, go. So how was jail?
And that's because Dan Markel was killed before the hearing, right?
I don't know when it was scheduled for.
It wasn't even scheduled yet.
Okay.
It was waiting to be scheduled when he was killed. If
they hadn't even scheduled when they were going to be doing the scheduling.
Is it fair to say your mom was worried about this motion?
No, my mom never knew about this motion. And as I mentioned before, Danny asked my mom to babysit after filing this motion, so I don't really believe anything that's written here.
Yeah. You want to tell us about the banana bread again?
Well, you forwarded this motion to your mother.
I don't believe I
via
did.
email.
12
In fact,
other
you forwarded
people.
this motion to 12 different people. Your mom, Jeffrey Lacasse, Renee Griggs, Tova Walsh.
Ah, Michelle, that was the very first time the cars have been mentioned all week. Granted, we've only been here a couple of days, but yeah, seriously, I have not mentioned any car thing at all.
Morgan Honeycutt, Gary Cohen,
You're like a magnet,
Miguel
Michelle. You
Edmondson,
pull it out of
Trey Hubler, Robert Adelson, Rachel Frank, Jared Reich, and some MEHULNYC at yahoo.com. So if you weren't worried about this, why'd you send it to all these people?
I couldn't really say. It's been a long time.
And then a couple days later, we know what happened.
So this was in March. So a couple days, I sent it to people in July when Danny was killed.
You sent it a couple days later.
I sent
That email to 12 different people.
in March.
Yes.
Maybe first.
Cappleman, you can resume your examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to talk a little bit about your brother, Charlie. Is he an older brother or a younger brother to you?
I'm the youngest of 3, so I have 2 older brothers. They're both older than me.
All right, and he's the middle child, Charlie?
That's right.
All right, and are you closer to Charlie or to the other brother?
I'm closer to Charlie.
How much time were you spending with Charlie back in 2013 and 2014?
Not a lot of time. I was in Tallahassee. He was in South Florida.
Did he work a lot?
He worked a lot, yeah.
And did he work at one location or travel around?
He would travel around. He worked at multiple locations.
Was he pretty successful in his job?
Yeah, he came up with a great business model for what he did, and he worked really hard and was very successful.
Was your brother known?
Yeah. Yeah, he came up with a great business model, didn't he? Pay us in cash. We don't put it on the books. You want us to launder any money for you while you're getting a scrape and polish? Yeah, we can do that for it's 12%. 12%. Yeah, no, a great business model. He had a title. He had a title for it. It was called Adelson Institute. Clean teeth, clean money. Get your money cleaned while your teeth are sparkly white.
To carry a lot of cash?
I know, he had cash on him sometimes. I never saw large sums of cash.
Did you ever see stapled cash?
I never saw stapled cash.
Were you familiar with his practice of stapling cash together in stacks?
No, I never knew about that.
Was your brother Charlie protected?
Oh, really? So you never saw your mother, counting out piles of money on the kitchen island, stapling them? I mean, well, that's 100,000.
Of you?
When I was a little kid. Yeah.
What about as an adult?
As an adult?
Yeah. No, I remember when I was a little kid. Yeah. No, I was riding my bike and I fell off and my knee, it was scraped, and Charlie ran over and then he said I'll get Mom, and then he ran off. So yeah, I remember he was protective when I was a little kid.
Not particularly.
Is it fair to say that during the year or so leading up to the murder of Dan Markel that your brother did not like your ex?
Did not like my ex? Didn't I tell you, Georgia? Charlie Adelson was in the process of buying another boat, which he was going to call the Dan Markel. He was going to be a little picture of him on the back in a skipper's hat, in the middle of a what do you call it? Life buoyancy age. What do you call that thing? Life ring. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Dan Markel.
I mean, I don't think he probably didn't like him, but I also think he didn't spend a lot.
If anybody does want to support the channel, we do have coffees at the link that the very, very kind Michelle's posted there. buymeacoffee.com/true crime metrics. Do you have that? Do you need to write it down? Do you need me to repeat? It's buymeacoffee.com/true crime metrics. Thank you, everybody.
A lot of time thinking about him.
Did he ever like him?
Yeah, I mean, I think they got along fine.
Did your brother ever mention hiring a hitman to kill Dan Markel?
No.
Yeah, but they got along fine. In fact, their first meeting, Charlie got drunk and invited Dan down to Colombia to have sex with underage street whores, and and Dan said, "Isn't that illegal?"
To turn your attention
it's trafficking. It's trafficking, international law.
to your law enforcement interview, and I'm referring to page 25, lines 13 through 15. Send me under tab 1. So this tab here.
Okay.
All right, so page 25. You find it?
Yes.
Quote, "It was always his joke. He said, I looked into hiring a hitman and it was cheaper to get you this TV." Is that what he said?
That was a joke that he made, yes.
And hiring the hitman, that was to kill Dan Markel, right? That was the joke.
That was the joke that he made in poor taste, yes.
Not to kill someone else.
No. Well, he never used his name.
Okay. Well, he's hiring you the TV because it's cheaper as a divorce present than a hitman. Who else would he be hitting with the hitman?
I never really thought about it because it was not a thing that he meant. He just made a bad joke.
Well, you repeated the joke, didn't you?
He repeated the joke.
Didn't you also repeat the joke?
To other people?
Yes, like Jeff Lacasse.
I never said that to Jeff Lacasse.
You didn't tell Jeff Lacasse that your brother got you that TV as a divorce present because it was cheaper than hiring a hitman.
I may have repeated that joke in the context of the TV, yes.
All right, and who is Jeff Lacasse?
Jeff Lacasse was a person I dated in 2013.
And did you tell Jeffrey Lacasse shortly before?
Sonic boom. Thank you, Michelle, for the super chat there and helping us with our goal at the top of the chat. Another great way to support the channel. Let's get this goal started. We'll never finish. Nowadays, everyone just wants to eat for free, right? They should change the name of this month to Greedy Season. No, it's very good, very good. Thank you, Michelle, for that super chat.
For the actual murder, that your brother really had looked into hiring a hitman.
I did not.
Did he buy you a TV as a divorce present?
Did my brother buy me a TV as a divorce present?
Yes, sorry, I should have clarified that. And
yeah, secondhand. It was no remote. Had to get that separate. Yeah. Had a DVD player on the side, on the side. But that didn't work either, so we had to buy one of those. Yeah.
Was the TV that your brother bought you as a divorce present the same TV that was being repaired on the morning of the murder?
Yes.
Did your mom text you that morning that the repair guy was coming to repair the TV?
I don't remember that.
Why would your mom have been involved in your TV repair appointment?
Because I didn't purchase.
Did I get a text 10 years ago in the morning? I think I can sense plausible deniability. I can answer no to that, and no one will be able to prove otherwise.
Just the TV. The TV was a gift that my brother paid for, but my mom went and got it, and he reimbursed her. So the contract would have been under her name and her number. So when the repair guy was coming, they might have called or texted the number on the account instead of my number.
Okay. And after the murder, do you recall going to a dinner where you got sick at the table?
It was about a month later.
And what if she actually bought it off Craigslist from some student that'd just been thrown out of college for drugs? Some tweaker student was selling a TV out of the back of his Crown Vic. $50. Okay, 45. You want to buy any weed?
And yes, I remember.
Where did that dinner occur? Was that here in Tallahassee or somewhere else?
No, it was in Miami.
All right. And was it like out at a restaurant?
It was at a restaurant.
All right. And when we say you got sick at the table, did you actually vomit at the table?
I threw up at the table.
All right. Yeah. And did you ever hear your brother?
Yeah, California roll just flew out of my mouth and hit another diner in the face.
They refer to that particular dinner as a celebratory dinner.
No.
Have you seen Mrs. Doubtfire when Pierce Brosnan is choking in that fancy restaurant? It was just like that.
Did you tell Jeffrey Lacoste that your brother called that a celebratory dinner?
I did not.
Was that a...
One moment, Ms. Cappleman.
Yes, sir.
Objection.
Hearsay.
Overruled.
Was that dinner a celebration of the murder of your ex-husband?
Absolutely not. That dinner was the first time I left my house after over a month because I was terrified. And if it was a celebration of anything, it was a celebration that I was willing to leave the house and eat a meal.
Eat a meal. Just like my ancestors that fled religious persecution. The first time they ate a meal when they got out of Auschwitz. It was like that. It was just like that. Except I didn't order the cabbage soup with no salt.
Do you know Katherine Magbanua, or have you ever met her?
I have met her.
Did you have an independent friendship with her, or did you only know her through your brother?
I only knew her through my brother.
What was her relationship to your brother?
They dated at some point.
Was there anything unusual about her as a girlfriend from your viewpoint at the time?
No.
So she seemed like a typical kind of girl that he would date?
She did.
Did you meet all his girlfriends?
I don't know. I met many girlfriends.
Okay. Did you meet Whitney Kick?
I did.
Okay. And Whitney Kick was after Katherine Magbanua, correct?
I believe so.
All right. And there's a photograph, I'm sure you recall, of you on the beach with Katherine Magbanua. Do you recall when that photo was taken?
I do. It was Father's Day 2014, so 9 years ago.
June 15th of 2014?
That sounds right.
So about a month before the murder?
Somebody went to math camp. Yeah. 2023 minus 9.
That sounds right.
Where was this photo taken?
It was in Miami. I went down to visit my dad for Father's Day.
Approaching and showing you what I've marked. States 35. Is this that photograph? And I've attached the data associated with it.
Yes.
Okay. Is fair and accurate copy of that photograph?
Yes.
Judge, I'd ask to move into evidence States 35.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 35 in the minute.
Permission to publish.
You may.
Publish 35.
Projectiles all the way into the kitchen. Hit the head chef in the eye. Blinded the chef. Oh, they do this, Michelle, all the time. You know, it's just a little, Charlie Adelson. Did anybody pull a gun on you? Are you asking if anybody pulled... No, nobody pulled a firearm on me. It's like, what is the point? It's just this little thing to make them feel like they haven't been pushed around, like they're maintaining control, man. Did anybody...
Can you look on it? Oh, it's the shot. Yeah. All right, is that you in the center?
That's me.
Which one's Katherine Magbanua?
The one on the left, our left in the picture.
And how long had Ms. Magbanua been dating your brother at the time this photo was taken?
I have no idea.
How many times had you met Miss Magbanua at the time this was taken?
I think once before.
Okay, how many times did you hang out with her total?
Just these 2 times. Once at the dinner when I met her, and then once at the beach for an hour.
Was the relationship between your brother and Katherine Magbanua serious, if you know?
I don't know. I mean, 10 years ago, was it serious? Not too serious?
Yeah, probably
It
not.
never stood out to you during that time frame as like, oh, this is the one.
No.
All right, so you mentioned you thought Whitney Kick was after Katherine Magbanua. What about June Mchinda? Do you know which one that is?
When you say, do I know which one that is? She's not in the picture.
No, ma'am. You're one of your brother's girlfriends.
Yeah, congratulations, fuckhead. June Mchinda. Maybe she is in the picture. Way down the beach. That'd be weird, wouldn't it?
June Mchinda, do you know her?
I met...
What if June was the mastermind? I think Ben and Lincoln will probably end up living with June. Head to toe in Louis Vuitton. She'd be dressing them up like her little, what do you call them? Pocket rat dog. What do you call those dogs? Pocket dog, is it? A dog that you can put in your purse. They'd be going to get grooming. Ben and Lincoln, it's time for your grooming.
I met someone named June.
Okay, and would you agree that was all?
Somebody. I've seen her at 3 trials already, but somebody, June.
So after Katherine Magbanua?
Yes, that would have been after.
Boom!
When did...
Sonic boom. Thank you, Steph sells stuff by the seashore. Here you go. Your grumpy perspective makes me laugh. Grumpy? Apparently we're grumpy, Soap. Thank you, Steph. That is very kind. And thank you, everybody.
Did you learn that Katherine Magbanua was blackmailing your brother for the murder of your ex-husband?
Today.
So
which means I lost a bet. I said I had 3-to-1 odds on on a Latin King Rivera, but it turns out it was my brother. Ooh.
He never told you?
No,
You testified in Katherine Magbanua's murder trial last year, didn't you?
I did, yes.
And she was convicted.
She was convicted, yes.
Of murder.
Yes, of murder.
Of murdering Dan Markel.
Of murdering my children's
crime?
father, yes.
A crime for which she apparently is innocent because she was just a conduit for Sigfredo Garcia. Did you learn that today along with all of us?
Well, I learned that someone made that argument. I don't know whether it's true or not true.
Okay. You have no knowledge of it.
I have no knowledge.
In all the years...
Yeah, Kelly W. I'm glad you haven't suggested that any murder planning was going on at the beach, because it wasn't. We all need to remember that. Yeah, it was brief. It was about an hour. Wendy wanted to go and get some chicken sandwiches. You know, this is what Wendy loves to do in Miami, right? She goes, "You want to get something to eat? How about a chicken? I know a place on the beach does the best chicken sandwiches. We have to go. You have to try one." You know. And Wendi Adelson's the kind of person, right, that might take people there with such advice. You have to try the chicken sandwiches in this place. There's nothing else like them. And then, and knowing full well that the chicken sandwiches in this place suck. Right? And then she'll go there, wait till you've ordered yours, and then change her order at the last minute. Oh, actually, could I get a pastrami on rye? I'm Jewish, so... you know, and then watch you eat the sandwiches that are really, you know, too much heavy bread. You know, like a whole surfboard of bread. I hate that. It's like, you know, I wanted a sandwich, man. You know, not this loaf. Get it out of here. You know, and just watch you eat and suffer and pretend to like it because she's going, "Are they good? Are they good?" Yeah, it was brief.
Years this has been pending.
In all of the years this has been pending.
Your brother has known who killed your child's father, and you didn't know.
I did not know.
Do you know why Katherine Magbanua was on the payroll at the Adelson Institute?
I believe that she worked there.
What did she do there?
I know my brother met her at a dental office, so I'm guessing administrative work of some kind.
Did you ever observe her doing administrative work there?
No.
How did the killers in this case know that Dan Markel...
No, but I know that because when we were at Yardbird, and we got the bill, she was able to work out the tip in her head. So definitely a receptionist.
Was planning to leave town the day after the killing.
I have no idea.
You knew he was planning to leave town the next day, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Did you convey that information to anyone?
Absolutely not.
To your knowledge, did your brother have that information?
I don't know why he would have known that.
So if the killers were told it has to be done today because he's leaving town tomorrow, we don't know how they knew that.
I have no idea how they knew that.
But it would have to come from someone familiar with Dan Markel's schedule, wouldn't it?
They would have to find out somehow. I don't know how.
Prior to Dan Markel's murder, when were you last in South Florida? Was it this trip that's pictured here?
No, because it was my dad's 70th birthday in early July, so I would have gone down to celebrate his birthday.
Okay, when's Dad's birthday?
July 5th.
Yeah, and I had to be there because we had this chef who didn't speak a word of English. He was just running around saying, "Platos, más platos." I had to take control. I said, "Señor, muy bueno, señor. Más paella, señor."
How long were you down there for that July 5th trip?
I don't really remember offhand, but my guess is about a week.
Did you see Charlie Adelson on that trip?
Yes. We celebrated my dad's birthday, the whole family and friends, everybody.
Did you see Katherine Magbanua?
And then there was a private party, but that was for the 50s and above. Yeah, that beef cheeks guy was there in a Speedo, so we left. And then this lounge music started playing, and everyone started running inside, so we knew we should go.
On that trip?
I don't remember if she was there or not.
Did Dad have a birthday party?
Dad had a birthday party.
Was it a big birthday?
It was his 70th birthday.
And was Katherine Magbanua at the party?
Sonic Boom! Monica Veronica, how you doing? Thank you so much for Victoria girl. Coffee link isn't working for me. Super chat it is. Was trying to send you some Hot Dave coffees. Yeah, that's going to be my order from now on, here on out. Hot Dave, in a cup. Thank you for the super chat, Victoria girl.
I don't remember seeing her there.
Do you remember seeing...
Who are we talking about? I don't remember seeing her there. Again, June, the real mastermind, right? The lady behind the plot. She's the Kaiser Soze of this story. Whenever she goes back to Thailand, she's like the gangster boss. all that dumb airhead persona goes out of the window immediately. She gets into a black Cadillac.
Okay, when's Dad's birthday?
July 5th.
Wait, you don't want to check any notes? I mean, it was 70 years ago.
How long were you down there for that July 5th trip?
I don't really remember offhand, but my guess is about a week.
About
Did
a
you
week.
see Charlie
It's usually about a week, so probably a week.
Adelson on that trip?
Yes. We celebrated my dad's birthday, the whole family and friends, everybody.
Did you see Katherine Magbanua on that trip?
Yeah. And Jose needed a ride home because no, his brother drives a cab, but he had an airport call, so we had to give Jose a ride home to his neighborhood with all of his equipment, his catering equipment.
I don't remember if she was there or not.
Did Dad have a birthday party?
Dad had a birthday party.
Was it a big birthday?
It was his 70th birthday.
And was Katherine Magbanua at the party?
I don't remember seeing her there.
Do you remember seeing June Umchinda at the party?
I don't.
Or Whitney Kick at the party?
I don't.
So it could have been any one of them or none of them.
Or none of them. I don't remember there being a...
Whitney Kick and June Umchinda. I mean, doesn't that sound like, you know, the members of the Fox Force 5 or something, you know, or Charlie's Angels? You know, they sound like girly superheroes. Whitney Kick is obviously a jiu-jitsu expert. June Umchinda, what would her speciality be? You know, oh, I know. She could have these like credit cards that are razor sharp, you know, kind of like the Peaky Blinders. She just, instead of a razor blade sewn into the hat, she just has these razor sharp credit cards, and she opens her purse and then slashes your face. That's her weapon. That's her choice. That's a really good idea. I need to speak to HBO. HBO, we've got something here. or Netflix, a Netflix special. Yeah, they always make piles of shit, don't they? We'll speak to them.
Girlfriend with him at the party.
All right, so you said the birthday was what, July 5th?
It would have been July 5th.
Okay. And do you know on what day?
biting. No, that's her kill move. She can crush the skull of any villain with her hippo teeth.
You celebrated?
Maybe his birthday, if it was... I felt like it was a weekend, so maybe if July 5th was a Saturday, then it was on his actual birthday.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell me about the event.
The calendar is always going to be very kind to Patriarch Adelson's 70th. Let's, have it fall on a weekend. Saturday. Not a Tuesday afternoon. So what did you do for your birthday? Well, we had a piece of cake in the morning, and then we all went to work.
Who, you said there were family and friends there, about how many people?
Maybe like 50 people.
Oh, good night for the beef cheeks, huh? Good night for the finger food and corn dog. I think everyone gave corn dog a special night.
What was on the menu?
We had paella.
Don't say corn dogs. It was like paella, but with instead of a medley of fish, it was corn dogs, just fried rice with corn dogs mixed in.
Were you responsible for securing the paella, or was that your brother's job, or someone else?
I didn't arrange it, but I speak Spanish and no one else could communicate with him, so I spent some time helping him. That's why I remember what we ate.
Okay.
Más paella, señor. Muy bueno, señor. Necesito algo con platos, señor.
Did your dad get any big gifts for his 70th?
I don't remember.
Did you...
Yeah. Beef Cheeks had something in a big box, wrapped, but he said, don't open it now. And they took it inside, giggling. He said, later, you're gonna love it.
So there was no...
Knowing Beef Cheeks, it was probably just his wife, and the box never got opened. It was a glory hole. She was inside, busy.
big lead.
She actually needed to go to the Adelson Institute the next Monday to get her jaw fixed.
Up in discussion about some big gift that you were involved in, at least.
I don't remember. I don't remember if I gave him a present. I hope I did.
Do you remember what anybody?
I think for the present it was just 2 more grandchildren with his namesake. Right? I mean, why spend money when you can give him something priceless? Plus, you don't have to spend any money.
You gave him for that birthday?
I really don't.
Was the murder of Dan Markel your dad's big gift?
I mean, that's, of course not. That's a horrible thing to say.
What about the, well...
Really? Is it? What are we doing here? You know that's your brother, right? Yeah. He's on trial for murder. This murder?
What about the grandchildren, getting full unfettered access to the grandchildren?
My
Could that
parents
have been
had
the
full
big gift?
unfettered access to their grandchildren always.
Yeah, always. Round the clock. The kids live there. What are you talking about? You know.
Not when they lived in Tallahassee.
Well, whenever they could come up and see them, they did.
They were 50% of the time with Dan Markel, right?
Sure, but whenever they were with me, they had full unfettered access.
On the occasion that we're talking about Dad's birthday, Was that one of the times that when you came back to Tallahassee, your parents rode with you and then rented a car and drove home in the rental car?
It was.
And how long a drive is that?
It's about 7 hours.
During that 7-hour trip, or at any time when you were in South Florida, was there any discussion?
Hey, Wendy, depending on traffic is the line. Okay, don't lock yourself in, Wendy. You gotta float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, bob and weave those questions, Wendy. 7 hours depending on traffic.
And of a murder at all?
No, absolutely not.
Any discussion of what to do about Dan?
No.
Any further discussion about bribing, converting to Christianity, any of those strategies?
No, that ship had long sailed.
Any
The ship. What ship was that? The ship. Yeah. I just love the idea of Charlie Adelson having a new boat called the Dan Markel.
discussion on that trip about the pending motion to preclude your mom from having contact with the kids?
No.
What was wrong with the TV that was...
Yeah, well, I mean, we already had the whole plan in the bag. It was in motion, so... we talked about what we were going to do when we, got the life insurance.
was repaired the morning of the murder.
I think one of my boys might have thrown something at it. There was like a little crack in the TV.
And your boys, are they weightlifters? Lincoln picked up a cinder block and launched it full length of the room.
How long had the TV been broken at the time that it got repaired?
I honestly don't remember.
Could it have been a long time, quite a long time?
Quite a while, yeah. TV repaired, July 18th. But up in which trip was it? Immokalee. The Immokalee trip where jealous rage thug Jeff Lacasse and Wendy went down to Yardbird. They were talking about the TV there. That was in March. So we go April, May, June, July. 4 months, huh? And we know you had another TV in the house. 4 months. Yet later, closer to the murder, you sat jealous rage thug Lacasse down with the boys to watch a movie on the broken TV. I mean, just throw the TV away. Who repairs a TV?
No, it could have been, I would be completely speculating. I don't remember how long it was broken for.
Do you remember who repaired the TV?
Yes, it was called the Geek Squad.
Do you remember the window that the Geek Squad gave you for when?
Yeah, it was either Geek Squad or Geek Union. Geek Hub.
They were going to be at your home to do this repair?
I do. I think they said it was 8 to 12 or 9 to 1, something like that.
Okay. Would you agree with me if I told you it was 8 to 12?
That sounds right.
All right. And do you recall what time the repairman actually arrived?
I've got it. Maybe this is where the hatred for the Markels began, right? Maybe they were visiting the Adelsons when Beef Cheeks and Clamfish were around, and Donna and Harvey were sort of, maybe squeezing Phil's thigh, maybe doing little knuckle butt rubs on Ruth, at the punch bowl. Then came the awkward question: you guys ever been on a waterbed? We just got one installed. If you want to try it, I'll show you around. Then they take him back there. There's like this leather mask on the bed. fucking dildos everywhere. And, you know, Phil and Ruth turned them down. You know, said it wasn't for them. You know, left, got into their car at the end of the driveway and, you know, just politely removed themselves. Harvey Adelson's running out. Don't tell anybody. Keep your mouth shut, you hear? You know, Harvey goes back in the house. Donna's like, thank God we didn't take him to the basement. And you wanted to take them to the basement. Harvey's like, I thought they'd like the hooks.
No, but I remember they came on the early side.
Okay. And was the repair done?
No.
Why not?
Because I called my brother to find out how much a new TV would cost versus how much the repair cost, and it didn't make sense to repair it.
It's cheaper to buy a new TV.
Yep.
Yeah, especially that one that you bought for $45 out the back of a Crown Vic from a student that had been booted out of school. I mean, with no remote.
The records indicate the repairman was there for about 45 minutes. Does that sound accurate?
You know, you can go into any Best Buy in the country and purchase a TV for what? $250? I mean, you know, she has money. What is this thing with the TV?
To you?
Sure. That's my best. Sure.
Why was he there for that long, just to tell you, like, this thing can't be repaired, or it's cost prohibitive to repair? Do you remember?
I don't. My guess is he was there to try to see how he could repair the TV.
Charlie calls it the Danny Boy. All aboard the Danny Boy. I love that. And that's the song that he always plays in the harbour or the marina. Does it make a difference? Our harbour is for bigger boats, commercial boats, I guess.
And then he gave me an estimate, and then I found out what the estimate compared to the cost of a new TV would be.
Who paid the repairman?
I did.
The repairman, you're familiar?
Well, you know, we're actually going to have to send this back to Samsung. No, what is it? It's a TV. We're actually going to have to send this back to Philips in Osaka. So, you know, the bill for the repair is going to be $25,000.
Familiar with his statement that you seemed really upset that day? What were you upset about?
I have no idea.
Were you upset that day?
I don't remember being... Oh, yes, I was upset that day. I was upset. I remember Danny wanted to take the kids swimming, and I wanted to pick them up earlier in the day.
Okay,
and
so nothing to do with the TV.
You were upset, were you? I mean, we've seen the text, Wendy. We've seen Dan's polite, reasonable request. You know, can I take the boys swimming for an hour after school? What was it? Your little swimming idea is a no-go. I'm picking up the boys at 3:35, and you better have them ready.
I don't think so. I probably wasn't that upset about the TV.
Did you ever use the TV as code for the murder?
No.
Did you ever hear your mom do that?
No.
Do you remember on July 13th, 2014, seeing Jeffrey Lacasse at your place on Aqua Ridge? Do you even remember that evening?
I don't remember seeing him at my place because by that point we were kind of broken up, so I don't think I would have seen him at my place.
All right. So on that occasion, you couldn't have told him you wanted to share something with him in confidence?
I think that would be very unlikely. We had kind of broken up at that point.
And you couldn't have told him at that time the statement about your brother really did look into hiring the hitman?
I can't imagine I would have said that.
And when did you break up with Mr. Lacoste, or when did the two of you break up?
It would have been end of June 2014.
It was like, the Monday, the previous Monday. What Tuesday? What was it? One of those. It was the beginning of the week. Murder week, TV week.
14.
So not 4 days before the murder?
No.
All right, so end of June 2014 would have been the last time you saw him.
No. I saw him after that. We were talking and kind of figuring out what we wanted to do, but we had gone on a trip to Gainesville the last weekend in June, at which point we had a big argument, and I really didn't want to be with him after that. So at that point for me, I was pretty much done, but there were more discussions until it, formally ended.
And when was the formal end?
I remember seeing him that Monday night and telling him I wanted to have some space.
Okay, so 4 days before the murder?
So 4 days before Danny was killed.
All right, and that was that the end of your relationship with him?
When I told him I wanted some space, yeah.
Okay. Where did you go after the TV repair man left?
After he left, I stayed at the house for a while, and I was working on some pieces of writing. I was talking with various friends. I had a friend in town interviewing for a job at FSU. I was making plans to go meet her. The time got too close before her interview. And then I had two friends that I would often meet on Fridays, just kind of last minute. And so we made plans to go have lunch.
All right, so what time did you leave the house to go have lunch?
I really didn't remember offhand, but I refreshed my memory and saw it was sometime around 12:45.
Okay, so it makes sense that you might have left your residence at about 12:30?
Sure.
Okay, and did you go to the crime scene or very near the crime scene on your way from your residence to, I guess, to lunch or to wherever you were going next?
No, I did not.
So you never turned on Trescott Drive that day?
I went to turn on Trescott Drive, but I saw that it had been blocked off by some tape, and so I just kept driving on Centerville.
Okay, and when you had to turn around at the tape, right, to go back out?
I think I tried to turn right, and it couldn't turn, so I would have made the kind of turn, like a K-turn, and kept going.
Was there a roadblock there with?
There was tape.
Yeah, and an officer was there?
I didn't see an officer, but I did see a car.
A law enforcement?
No, there were six police vehicles, 2 ambulances, for the tree. What if the tree had fallen on the house, Dan's house, right on the garage? Wow.
Marked vehicle? Okay, did you have any contact with the officer?
No.
Okay. Did you do anything after that to try to find out what was going on down that roadway?
No, I just assumed it was weather, or maybe a tree fell.
Had there been bad weather that day?
No, but it was summertime and there's
electrical.
electrical.
Whoa. Wendy, how do you know that? It was 10 years ago. Could have been. I don't remember if it was rain or snow.
Storms and trees fall, so that would have been pretty normal for summertime.
Where were your kids supposed to be at the time that you encountered that roadblock?
They would have been at school.
And that's at the creative preschool?
That's right.
Who took them to preschool that day?
Danny.
And who was supposed to pick them up?
A forensic truck. Yeah, I think General Isom was calling the shots on that one. Somebody get the prints off this tree. The tree's prints.
From preschool that day?
Me.
All right. So did you know for sure that they had made it to preschool that day at the time you encountered the roadblock?
I just assumed. I mean, if they hadn't made it to preschool, Danny would have let me know, but...
Did you attempt to call Dan Markel when you encountered the roadblock?
No, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it was related to the house.
Had you talked to Dan Markel or your kids that morning?
My kids know, but that would have been normal, and Danny and I tried to get in touch with each other, but we left. We were trying to figure out where Ben was going to go to kindergarten at the time, and...
Yeah. We were trying to figure out, we were like, you know... She presents it as though they were as though they had a range of options, right? That they were going to discuss equally and talk about which one would be best for the boy. We were trying to work out where Ben would go to school. No. You enrolled him without his father's knowledge. Insisted that this was the right one because it was exclusive. And Dan wanted to be involved. So, you know, he was on the phone with, what's his name? His name was Schweizer, something like that.
We left voicemails for each other, but didn't get to talk.
Okay. Did he leave you a voicemail message that morning?
He did.
Okay.
Sonic boom!
I asked you earlier about him being scheduled to leave town the day after he was killed. Do you know where he was planning to go?
He was going to New York to see...
New York. He loves their bagels. You know, he has to go all the way to New York for bagels. Thank you so much, Victoria Girl. Support Metrix's Internet Fund. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, no, I paid half, you know. Because, well, you know, yeah, I paid half in coins. I was like, do you take coins? I was like, buddy, this is a phone store. We don't have a cash register. You gotta take coins. I'm paying half.
see his girlfriend.
Right. The message that he left you that morning, do you remember what he told you in the message?
I mean, I think it was about our son's school.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I don't really remember.
Okay. Included in that was it included in that message that he was heading to the gym and was going to be at the gym between 9:15 and 10:30 that morning?
I really don't remember, but that sounds like it could be what he would leave.
Okay. Would it refresh your recollection to review a transcript of that voicemail?
Sure.
Yeah, I'd love if Charlie's suit had one of those. I don't even know what to call it. You know, the big collar on Dracula's cape, I guess, or is that part of his jacket? I don't know. But you know what I mean. It's like it's a fan collar. It's black. Wear that in court. I mean, that would be allowed, right? Just because it's, you know, Edwardian. I mean, it's still smart attire, courtroom attire. Get me a Dracula costume for my trial.
Okay.
So did he say in that
Wend
voicemail that he left you what his plans were in regards to the gym that day?
He did.
What exactly did he say about the gym?
He said he was going to the gym. That's it. You know.
About the gym, he said, I'm going to be at the gym probably between 9:15 and 10:30. but I'm happy to chat or meet with you. Maybe we can go for a walk at school or something like that. Let me know.
Okay. So that particular voicemail doesn't sound very emotionally abusive. Would you agree with that?
No, by this point in time, we were parenting really well, and
Yeah? Oh,
we
yeah?
were doing just...
Yeah, let's read your reply. Yeah. At this point in time, you know, we almost said, hey, do you want to call off the divorce? Let's get married again and renew our vows. I hear Boca Raton is you know, got a sweet deal on that venue.
Just fine.
Getting along great.
Objection, Your Honor.
What's the objection?
Yeah. I'd stopped, making the children eat piles of bacon in the Skype videos, and he was grateful, and yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Move to strike.
I'll strike the comment, Your Honor.
Please move on.
Did you talk to your brother on the day of your ex-husband's murder?
I did.
And about what time of day did you speak?
It does look like a school uniform, a prep school, which is funny because is it in Scent of a Woman? Where there's a young Philip Seymour Hoffman, and I forget what's going on. I think it's a prep school, or it's Harvard. It's Harvard, isn't it? And they're in trouble, right? They're in trouble, and they're like having this trial in the school for these 3 boys. And Philip Seymour Hoffman's one of them who's in trouble, I think. Is that what's happening? Am I thinking of the right movie? But he's wearing that, And Charlie, just his demeanor feels like the same demeanor, the same face. When he stands up in front of the jury and he's doing that like somber, this was horrible, but I'm also not guilty. So there's this middle ground of, like acknowledging the horrific nature of this situation, but also like shaking his head. No, it wasn't me. No, they thought it was me. That's so horrible that they think this was me. There's this strange cocktail of conflicting expressions that he's trying to put out, and I can imagine him being in school and being in trouble. And having Harvey having to come in and talk to the principal, right, or something, and Charlie sitting there with this like, no, principal, what we did, it was wrong, and won't happen again. And also, I would like to become head boy. How do we make that happen?
Speak to him.
It would have been right after the repair guys were there, because that's when I called him to ask him whether I should get the TV repaired.
Singular. It was one guy.
Or buy a new TV. So It would have been morning.
How long did you talk to him?
I don't remember.
Does 18 minutes sound incorrect?
That sounds reasonable.
Okay.
Does it sound reasonable? For what? Why does it sound reasonable? Hey, Charlie, I got this TV repair guy here, and he wants to know. He says we can either fix it or throw it away. Buy a new one. How much did it cost? That's less than a minute phone call.
Talk to him about other things other than just the TV?
I really don't remember what else I talked to him about, but probably. Maybe I would have asked him about his work, or we would have caught up.
Yeah.
Did you happen to mention Dan Markel?
Yeah. I'm gonna keep the fucking TV guy here in the van. So how's work? Tell me all about your love life. Oh, you got a new girl? Let me get a coffee. You can tell me everything.
Markel's plans to go to New York the next day?
I don't see why I would have.
Did you have WhatsApp on your phone at that time?
I don't know if in 2014 I had WhatsApp. Now we use it for all the parent chats at school, so it's everybody seems to have it, but I don't know if everybody had it back.
Mother, caring mother. Yeah, I definitely didn't have it when I was at Cambridge. And I definitely didn't have it when I was writing my novel.
In 2014.
What is WhatsApp?
WhatsApp is kind of an app you would use for texting.
Do you know if your brother Charlie had it at that time?
I have no idea if he had it at that time.
Did you ever communicate with Charlie through WhatsApp?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. If I had it at that time or if I had it later, I probably would have.
Just not sure.
Yeah,
Did you have any contact of any kind with Katherine Magbanua on the day of Dan Markel's murder?
No.
Did you ever communicate with her through WhatsApp?
No, I never communicated with her at all.
I 100% agree with that, by the way. People are like, Sigfredo called Katie, and Katie said, I know. Yeah, not a chance. Possibly there was a signal through a charge card or the gentleman caller in England. Or just the fucking news. I mean, or Katie didn't know. But I would bet my life on Wendi is not phoning or texting or sending any kind of digital message to Katie Magbanua on murder day. Not a fucking chance in hell.
All right, let's talk about, well, you communicated with her on the beach.
I saw her in person, but I'm saying I never texted with her, called her. I never communicated via a device other than...
Hey, I like that, Wendi. Is that the new dance move? Up in the club. What was it? It was the driving of the car, and then the calling of the phone, and then the driving of the car again, and point. Can we see it again? Can we have some music, please? Maestro!
All right, let's talk about, well, you communicated with her on the beach.
I saw her in person, but I'm saying I never texted with her, called her. I never communicated via a device other than in person.
Okay.
So it wasn't driving the car, was it? That was texting. I see. So it's text, call, text, point.
What about when you were talking to your brother? Did she ever get on the phone and speak to you?
I don't think so.
Okay. I want to talk about where you went when you left.
Yeah. For what? For what? Hey, tell me what you're doing in your peasant life. Did I tell you that I'm above you in every possible way? So nice talking.
Your residence on the day of the murder. You tried to turn on to Trescott, and then you ended up where?
I went, I was supposed to go to a party that night, a Stock the Bar party, so I went to a liquor store.
Stock the bar party? Wendi, I thought it was stack the shelf or something, or put the shelves up. Yeah, it's a bride and groom shower party, and we're gonna get together. And we're going to put up some flat pack furniture, shelves from IKEA.
Or to pick up what they had asked for as the present for their party. So I went to the liquor.
What they had asked for. Did I tell you that? You know, when I was at Cambridge, people used to ask for things. And now they did it here with the liquor. I don't remember what it was called because I had it written down. I just didn't stay in my mind.
Liquor store. I picked up the alcohol. I stopped. I think I got gas, and then I went to lunch to meet my.
You did not get gas. You know, think you got gas, did you? Well, you know, you've never been sure on that, even on the day. you know. And when General Ison was asking you, so where did you get gas? She was having a real hard time, you know. General Ison has never been outside of Tallahassee. I mean, you know, he's never been 3 miles away from Monroe. You know, he knows every back alley, street, road, avenue, everything, right? So he's like, oh, I know, will you get on the parkway? You know? And she's like, no, further along. It was a bit like Grant Armado with the guardrail, you know. No, we met on this road. That was probably there, or somewhere 2 miles away. And there was a guardrail, but it was really long, so it's impossible for me to pinpoint. It was like that. There was no gas. I wish they'd had a photograph of her dashboard showing the gauge.
My friends.
And the liquor store purchase appears to have occurred at 12:49 based on the receipt. Do you have any reason to dispute that timing?
No, that sounds right.
Okay, and then from there to the restaurant?
Yes.
And where was the restaurant located?
Mosaic. I actually don't remember. I just remember I would go north on Thomasville Road.
All right.
And so it was.
And is the restaurant where law enforcement came to speak with you and you ended up going with them to the police station, right?
That's correct.
Right. Do you agree or disagree that there have been some financial benefits to you and your boys as a result of Dan's death?
I disagree.
Okay. Bring up her accounts. Says here you get $4,800 a month each. What's that for? Socks?
When did you decide to change the names of your children from Markel to Adelson?
So after Danny's murder, there was a lot of news. It just hit the media, and there were news stories everywhere. And Nancy Grace on CNN put pictures of my boys with their faces.
Hey, what's with the narrative form, Wendy? Shut this shit down, Cappleman.
Unblurred, just pictures of them. And I was terrified. And so when they started school, I started school with my last name, thinking that would keep them safe, that they wouldn't be associated with the murder.
Wasn't the Adelson name?
Would have been better if she'd have just taken the name Markel and spelt it backwards. So it would be Lekram. Is that right? Yeah. Lekram. No one's gonna predict that. Lincoln Lekram and Ben Lekram. Wasn't that name of a Jewish cake that we were looking up? Was it? I thought we had it a minute ago. The honey one. What was the honey cake? Or was it Lakesh? I don't know. It wasn't Lekran though. Lincoln Lekran.
In the press, just
It
as
was
much
not in
as
the press.
Markel?
Not yet.
Do you agree that you legally changed the kids' names on July 6th of 2015?
That sounds right.
So it was actually a year after the homicide.
A year after.
When was the last time you talked to your mom? Did you talk to her today, yesterday?
I talked to her yesterday.
Yeah.
In her emails, and we
What was that like? What do you think that call was? Still pretending to be this daughter that has any interest. Gotta be great to hear Wendy on the phone, huh? on a wiretap. Not that she would be herself, of course, because she never does.
Referenced one of them while you've been here on the stand. She talks about you giving performances and playing roles. Did you discuss anything about what you would do here today in court with your mother?
No.
Were you involved in any way in the plot to kill your ex-husband?
Absolutely not.
Did you know it was going to happen, but maybe not know the details?
I knew nothing.
Is that why you went to the crime scene on the day of the homicide?
I did not go to the crime scene on the day of the homicide.
Do you know who all was involved in the murder?
Well, I learned today, but at the time, no.
Okay. Have you ever privately confronted your brother about...
Yeah, were you not at the previous 2 trials? Didn't you get told about the arrests in 2016? Well, I learned everything today. I've been very busy with my what does she do? A medical legal partnership. Okay.
his role or possible role in the murder?
My attorney has advised me not to have conversations with anyone in my family about the case.
Or at all now, right? Now I can't even ask them to pass the salt.
But you had a close
Kosher salt. Can you pass the kosher salt? No.
relationship with your brother at the time of the murder, right?
I absolutely had a close relationship with my brother.
And how soon after the murder did your lawyer advise you not to talk to your family about it?
In 2016.
Okay, so what about the 2 years in between? Did you talk to him about it then?
I mean, I talked to him about the fact that a murder occurred, but I guess I don't understand the question.
But you never talked to him about the suspicions you raised in the law enforcement interview that your brother might have done it?
No, I did not.
You suspected...
Yeah, right, Acapella. The label says kosher, but I've got a feeling that this is Himalayan rock. They're fucking us.
Your brother could have been a part of this, right?
Was this blessed by a rabbi? A rabbi was climbing Everest and brought this home.
I suspected lots of people could have been a part of it.
But he was one of the people, right?
While I was talking with law enforcement for 6 hours, terrified out of my mind.
I also mentioned the rogue pelican with a gun. I also mentioned the whisk lady that made Dan Markel a special bowl of custard in the faculty cafeteria that he didn't finish, and she was very offended. Apparently they did find a whisk at the crime scene. No shell casings, no weapon, but a whisk. So I mentioned all sorts of people.
And I offered them every possible idea I could come up with.
Right.
Every possible idea. I drew a big red circle around jealous rage thug Jeff. They didn't seem to think it was viable.
And one of the possible ideas was that your brother could have murdered your child's father.
I didn't
right?
really believe that was possible.
Was part of the plot for you to be able to have plausible deniability about this?
Absolutely not.
A little bit angry there, Wendy. Are you angry because that's exactly what happened? Oh, we got you. We've seen through you.
Better for both you and your brother if you don't know the details of this.
I don't even understand the question that you're asking me.
When did you first become aware that you might be a suspect in this case?
I mean, as the ex-wife, I assumed I was a suspect from the beginning.
Acapella says, yes, terrified, because Isom is really scary when you've got him wrapped around your finger. Hey man, I can tell you, you do not want to be anywhere near General Isom when it comes down to the last few potato chips in the bottom of the bowl on Super Bowl Sunday. It's like, don't touch! It's not worth it, let him have it. You'll lose your fingers!
What was your first thought when you were asked if anyone might have murdered Dan Markel for your benefit?
I thought, oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This was my shocked face when I was in the interview room. I said, oh my God. And then my mother, when I called her, what?
Maybe if I hadn't divorced him, he would still be alive. Maybe this is my fault because I...
Yeah, okay. Now she wants sympathy for having survivor guilt. Okay? Oh, that's why I went into a dark depression. I thought, why me, Lord? Why should I live? Take me now. Take me to the Lord.
I complained to the wrong person. Maybe Danny gave a student a bad grade and they came after him. I just was...
B+, eh? Okay, what's this guy's address? B+.
Trying to think of who possibly could have wanted to hurt him.
But you didn't say any of that before. I mean, the first thing you said was Charlie, right?
I don't think so.
Page 25 of your interview, line 5 through 15. Do you have any reason to dispute? Page 25, not 5 hours into it. You say Charlie might have done it, right?
Can I see, please?
You may. This is going to be tab 1, page 25.
What I say here is that he would never do it. Right under the highlighted part, I say no, he would never.
You need a copy?
No. Page 25, line 5 through 15. I mean, my brother, the one, his name is Charlie, the one I'm really close to. He makes a lot of jokes in that taste, and it was a joke he made. He bought the TV for me this morning that got broken, and then I was talking to him about whether it made sense to pay or fix it, or whether I should get a new one. And it was always his joke that, he knew that Danny always treated me badly. And it was always his joke. He said, I looked into hiring a hitman and it was cheaper to get you this TV, so instead I got you this TV. And you do say you don't think he would do it, but can we agree you brought up his name on page 25 of the interview?
I did.
When asked, would you ever ask someone to do something like this? You say not in a million years. When asked, okay, do you think someone would do this for your benefit without asking you? You say no. And when Isom starts to ask you, what good does it serve? You say, I mean my brother, the one, his name is Charlie. Isn't that how it went?
This is the transcript, but I think there's also inaccuracies in the transcription.
Oh boy. All right. Do you want the culpable parties held accountable for murdering the father of your children?
Absolutely. I'm grateful they're already in jail.
But not if it's your family.
It's not my family.
I mean, somebody hired them.
Yeah, I'm grateful they're already in jail. Are you? they're not all in jail. This guy's on trial now. And your mother, she's free. And you.
Right?
Not necessarily.
Somebody paid him.
Not to mention that pelican and the dinner lady. Whisk lady.
I learned something this morning.
Yeah, me too. You didn't want him held accountable if it was your family members. Didn't you tell law enforcement that?
That's not what I told law enforcement.
What did you tell law enforcement?
I told them that the person who did this should be held responsible and that I had nothing to do with it.
Page 122, lines 7 through 12. If somebody tried to kill my ex-husband, they should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
The person that did this should be held responsible, if it was Jeff or someone else. Or Jeff.
Investigator says regardless of who it is, and your answer is, I mean, it would be different if I thought it were my brother.
But I don't think it was my family, is what I said.
Different now, isn't it?
No, it's not different. That's exactly
different
what I
today,
said
isn't
right
it?
here. No, that's not
No
right.
further questions.
Booyah!
Cross-examination.
Judge, may we do a sidebar first?
Very briefly.
Very briefly.
Sidebar, eh? What's going to happen now? I don't know. So Rashbaum's going to be in 2 parts. Let me just check. This one. Hello. So there's a 55-minute episode. We got a 27. I don't know. Should probably keep it for tomorrow. What time is it? What time is it, America? It is. Clock on the wall said 2 o'clock. That's pretty late, pretty ripe. And if we've got, that makes sense. I mean, personally, I could go for another hour, but how are we doing in the chat messages? The chat. Yeah, we'll start to wrap it up and do Rashbaum as a special Munchkin event tomorrow. Maybe in the day. I don't know. At some point. Yeah. Thank you, Blu-ray River. Cue the indignant rage. Should we watch it again? It's different now, isn't it? It's different today, isn't it? No further questions. What a star. It's probably Georgia Cappleman's number 1 line and number 1, close. Well, I can't really call it close. That's misleading. End to witness. Righteous indignation. Yeah, if it was Wendy, she'd describe it as her righteous, justified, true, horrified indignation. Georgia's the best. Bam! Charlie's shaking his head. Yeah. Everybody's shaking their head. Judge Everett shaking her head. Only 11 here. Well, that's not true. We got 124. And everybody can go back to the beginning and watch it again. Lollipop Guild member. Okay, we're going to go. And we're going to come back tomorrow with Daniel Rashbaum, Wendi Adelson on the stand. One of the most bizarre cross-examinations of any witness of any trial I've ever seen. I mean, it is ridiculous. They go through this whole spiel at the beginning where, Wendi Adelson, we've met a couple of times, right? You know my face, right? You know I like jigsaw puzzles, right? We did a jigsaw puzzle together in the Icon, remember? And didn't that jigsaw puzzle say that I love Dan Markel? He's saying, none of this has been prepped, right? so we don't have a script. But it's ridiculously scripted. It's they might as well be literally both holding a script and reading it for the first time at an acting audition. Okay, we are going to go. We're going to go. Good night, Christina. Good night, Blu-ray River. Steph, Darklyn, everybody else. Christina and Acapella. Good job. Thank you for coming. Thank you for moderating. Thank you for chatting. Super coffees. And everybody else. Have a safe drive home. Have a good and friendly morning on Saturday. Enjoy your Saturday. And see us Saturday night, live from Miami Beach. Okay, good night, everybody. Thank you, Bush. Oh, I always do this now, don't I? I just, the off button, it's right there. It's the big one. How do we press? Nope. And close.